Hello everyone and welcome to week 4 of the Brawlhalla Championship Series. I'm Designated Asian. With me as always is my co-host
Barky878.
And on the analyst desk we got part of the Creed, TWK Smash. Behind the scenes once again we got Zenigan, the admin. We've got all sorts of good stuff lined up for you guys. This is the last week of points. All the people here are fighting it out. They don't have a guaranteed spot into the top 16, so they want to fight and make sure that they get that top 16 spot and get an invitation to the grand finals next week here at twitch.tv/Brawlhalla. But first, Sparky, tell them how they get points.
All right, so here is how we are going to break it down this week. Like a normal 1v1 tournament, players will compete in sets of 3 until the winners finals, the losers finals, and of course grand finals. The difference here is that this week, if there is a 5-point difference between the higher seeded person and the lower seeded person, then if the lower seeded person wins, he will get a bonus of 10% of the winner's points. So if Pugsy has 30 points and Pickled Potatoes, theoretically he has way more points than this, has 5 points. That qualifies for the 5-point difference. If Pickled wins, he is going to get a total of 4 points for that set victory instead of just 1. Now, of course, Designated Asian mentioned the grand finals occurring next week, and the top 16 teams based solely on points at that point will be invited to the grand finals tournament.
Exactly. Like you said, it's going to come down to the top 16 people with points. Some people have already gotten their guaranteed spot. Pugsy, who's been in the top 2 for the past 3 weeks, is guaranteed. Doesn't really care about where he ends up. To that same point, EXO and Pickled Potatoes both have guaranteed spots, so they're all sitting out. The people in here today are the people who want those final last 8 or so spots, and they want to fight it out and make sure that they have a guaranteed spot, or they're looking for better seeding inside of those top 16 points so that they don't have to go against the first seed in the first round. Instead, they're going to be going somewhere in the middle is what they're looking for. So that is what we have lined up for you guys, and we're gonna go ahead and hop on over to the bracket and let everybody see who all is here fighting it out today. We've got the main man, the one and only Mr. Crocky from Vex Clan. We've got Berthan, also of Vex Clan, I believe, but more on the stream side than the competitive side. We have Scythe, CRX, I believe, Scythe, Cryax, I can't remember what it's for, but PKPR, I think he's unclanned, isn't he?
I think so.
We've got Legit Punisher, the main man of the King Clan. We've got LDZ. I think he changed clans.
It's Kingdom Esports.
It's Kingdom Esports?
Yes.
Their clan tag is
King.
King.
Their tag is King, but it is Kingdom Esports.
Kingdom Esports. LDZ, is he a Vex now? I want to say he got picked up by Vex.
I have trouble keeping up with everything LDZ does.
Yeah, LDZ, he's jumped around clans. He used to be of Inertia, and I believe he's of Vex now. Magma Bob, he's an old Boo staple. Boomy of Tier. Boomy showed up hard yesterday in the Tier versus Faro crew battle, taking out 10 stocks. That was great. You can check that out. Crack is unclanned as far as I understand. Dayton Dude unclanned. Egg Soup also of Boo. Nosedive is unclanned. Zoloxery is of BX3, the most recent sponsorship clan. Fat Breeze, he's in a clan. What clan is Fat Breeze in?
I do not know.
I can't remember what clan Fat Breeze is in. Stevenator, also of Boo. Hermison, I believe unclanned. Clippership of Uzi. Maltager of Z. Tybo of Boo. Published Peace Productions is unclanned. That boy Remy is also of Tier. The only person in your harem, I believe, is unclanned. Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Kakzarn and Swami Sage also are unclanned. Lots of unclanned people, but that doesn't matter because we've got lots of good people getting ready to fight it out this week. We're just waiting on Clippership to hop in here. We're going to be watching the first match of the day, Clippership versus Maltager in round 1 of the winner's bracket. is going to be super duper good. Tell me what you know about both of these guys. You used to be in a clan with Clippership. You used to be in Uzi. You played with Clippership a long time ago. What do you think of him?
Clippership is, I don't want to say he's a good friend of mine because I don't actually know the fella, but he will always have a soft spot in my heart. He is a part of my past and a part of my future. As for Maltager, I don't know too much about Maltager. I've played against him a handful of times in ranked. I think maybe this is currently season 1, correct? Or is this season 0?
It's there have been 2 seasons before this one, but I believe officially this is season 1. The previous season was season 0, and there was like a season 0.5 in between.
It was season 0.5, season -1. The reset before the most recent reset was probably the last time I've ever played Maltager. We see he's already hovered on Hattori. I would be not surprised at all if he stuck with that Hattori. Maltager has seen some heat for his playstyle, and definitely when I face him in ranked, I tend to get on the salty side and would grab my pitchfork and torch and join those people, giving him the heat for that playstyle. But of course, coming back and seeing it from the bigger picture, if you're successful, and Maltager is successful quite often, then you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. I mean, he might take flack for playing like it, but it's successful, and why do something different when he's winning with the playstyle that he's got? But he does definitely take flack for it, and if anyone can handle that flack, it is a guy like Maltager. He does not care about that. I am getting an echo from you. But I've messaged Clippership. He might be in ranked. He might be in ranked.
Stuck in the game because he is logged onto the game. He is playing the game.
Because
the room is locked.
I don't know, because I know you were just on the ranked ladder, and you saw some of the players kind of preparing for their matches today in the ranked ladder. It's quite possible Clippership is just in a slow game right now. There he is. Here he comes. He's already ready to lock in. All they got to do is the map bans, and we are good to go. But we're going to be seeing Clippership versus Maltager. Clippership's going to be on that Bodvar, and like you said, Maltager's going to be on that Hattori. I know a while back, Maltager says he does have kind of a pocket Cassidy if he really wants to space someone out and play incredibly safe. He is unafraid to use those guns. Are you ready? I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Let's just get into it.
Round 1 of the winner's bracket in this best of 3 set. It's going to be Clippership versus Maltager. And here we go. King's Pass is the map. Clippership came in and said pick whatever map. And they're just going to go with arguably one of the more difficult maps. And Clippership, unafraid, is just going to be going with this unarmed playstyle. Tries to get a Sarah onto Maltager inside of that shenanigans area, but can't quite get the hit. Both of them have swords.
One of the more infamous maps in the ranked 1v1 map pool. That shenanigans area and the relatively close kill boxes just make strange things tend to happen on this map. Strange things that come out of nowhere and completely change the shift and the pace of the game.
Absolutely. Like you're saying, that shenanigans area, it has the ability to extend stocks. If you keep getting hit inside of that, you're just going to bounce around in between those 2 walls and survive for a lot longer than necessary. And that's why Maltager's been trying to put his back to that wall, but Clippership is just going to try to stay on top of him. Gets caught by the ground pound from Maltager, but he should have the jumps. There it is. Gets to the wall and is going to survive for a little bit. Ooh, neutral sig catches Clippership. He's going to go down, goes around, touches the wall, and Maltager's not able to keep him off the wall. Neutral sig catches, and there it is. First stock going the way of Maltager. Of note, I don't know if you mentioned this, but Maltager is going to be playing from the EU, whereas Clippership will be on US. So Maltager does have a slight ping disadvantage, but doesn't seem to be bothered by it, given that he's got the stock advantage right now and is trying to keep Clippership off these ground.
It looks like Clipper wants him in that shenanigans area, wants to hit him with that hammer recovery to send him straight down. Maltaker is in the red.
That was an interesting option. The slide charge down sig. I don't know if he was trying to read Maltaker going out, like off the wall, but the side air is
the hammer side air that's going to take him out. That hammer side air is so strong. I talked about those short kill boxes, and they can actually be super devastating, especially with stronger and more forced weapons like hammer and axe, and even spear Sarah can kill you from reasonably early if you get hit in the air on the side.
Yeah, like you said, the kill boxes, man, if you're not careful, you can get finished very easily, especially that low top kill box. So if Clippership gets a good bear, a good neutral sig, or if Maltaker gets a neutral sig, either one of them could be taken out at orange instead of the usual red. Maltaker has been throwing out these ground pounds on the Clippership. Clippership currently unarmed. Can't find a weapon. Throws the mine out, but catches Maltaker with a neutral light. I'm going to back up, pick up another mine, and almost hits himself with it. Neutral light. No, gravity cancel neutral sig is not going to connect. Clippership gets under and is dodging around, but can't pick up a weapon, and the down sig off the side catches Clippership, and Maltaker has the stock advantage again.
That signature catches me more often than any other signature from Hattori, because she pops back a little bit. You expect to go in, and she pops back out of your range and then comes flying at your side.
Yeah, it's one of those if you're overly aggressive and they're running away and then do a turnaround down sig, it'll catch you because it puts enough distance between the two of you that if you're not ready for it, it's gonna get you. But right now, Maltaker's throwing out these side airs, just wants to extend this stock advantage that he's got, and he's doing it with that spear. The side air from Clippership will finish it off, but Clippership's already going towards the orange, and I think he's trying to decide what weapon he's gonna land on. There's the sword.
We're seeing Maltaker doing a great job of just kind of zoning Clipper out without committing too much, putting himself in danger. There is that big signature. Just moved him out of that dare territory. Waited for Clipper to get closer to the ground and dashed straight at him. That signature is so fast.
Not just that, but the down sig catches, and the low kill box on King's Pass ends up finishing off Clippership when he was like orange. And as we see, Clippership is now switching up characters, wants to get something a little bit more aggressive. He's gonna go with that 8 strength Scarlet. We'll see how well that works out. I think this time he's actually gonna pick a map. I don't know. But here we go. Clippership versus Maltaker. Scarlet versus Hattori. I don't know how I feel about this matchup. I think it's a little bit Hattori favored. If Hattori can get on top of Clippership and keep that aggression going, then I think Scarlet's gonna have a lot of trouble getting away. But right now, Clippership with weapon control gets caught by a dare, gets caught by a second dare, and the nair reads the jump from Clippership. Clippership still in weapon control right now, but hasn't really been able to capitalize off of it. Throws away the lance, and now they're both unarmed. Clippership dodges in. They trade out damage.
We're seeing Maltaker using those nairs to zone Clipper out without putting himself in any dangerous territory by overcommitting with a ground pound or recovery.
Oof. That's rough. Clippership tried to be cute, throws the lance up and wanted it to fall down below him after he gets hit by that hammer toss, but unfortunately he wasn't far enough to the left and it lands on the ground. But right now, Maltaker has been relatively safe, hasn't really taken too much damage. Side sig catches Clippership. Clippership gets hit by the spike ball, gets hit by the sword, and doesn't have the jumps. Too many things in the sky.
Force under the stage. And I'm pretty sure he knew his fate. At that point, he definitely knew what was going to happen to him.
I don't think he expected the sword toss is what happened there. He was like, okay, spike ball,
Yep, he probably expected the immediate ground pound.
Absolutely. That is the commonplace edge guard, is tossing the ground pound. But right now, Maltaker with his spear is just doing damage to Clippership, and Clippership hasn't been able to do much. Oh, almost mines himself. Oh!
Now he mines
There's
himself.
the mine.
I don't know why Clippership would have jumped back at that point.
The moving
It's not
platform.
like he is tilted. He's ready to go into loser's bracket. He does not want to finish that out in full fashion. He just elected to move on, get it behind him, and see what he can do in loser's bracket.
Yeah, I guess that's what happened. And with that, we're gonna hop on over to the analysts to see what they think about that setup.
Hey, how's it going? So, Clippership, he played a good match, but he made some very crucial mistakes during that entire set.
It's, you know, a little bit unfortunate. I mean, Maltager, an incredibly solid player. I have had the misfortune of playing him kind of earlier on in the history of Brawlhalla. I know he's always very solid. I don't know. There was that interesting legend switch between Clippership, you know, moving over to Scarlet after losing that first match with Bodvar. I don't know if he really just wanted that extra strength. I know he kind of said YOLO in chat right before the match began. I would like to say he did have really good reads on Maltager's dodge-ins, and he got a lot of really strong punishes with Bodvar, so he might have thought, okay, the damage difference wasn't that big between us, and maybe...
Absolutely, and it was a little painful watching Clipper make some pretty crucial small mistakes in the first set. On the last stock, he went for the down air on against the Hotori down sig and almost made it. I think if he had done that, maybe
speed difference didn't really pan out too well for Clipper.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was a little painful watching Clipper make some pretty crucial small mistakes in the first set. On the last stock, he went for the down air on against the Hotori down sig and almost made it. I think if he had done that maybe 1 or 2 frames earlier, it absolutely would have hit, but the spacing was just right that as he fell down, the hitbox connected and he just went flying, which was extremely unfortunate. In the second set, he made that awful mistake of throwing his lance into the mine when he was like just within the hitbox.
That was heartbreaking.
When he threw the mine, it was right on the platform, right by his feet, and he came dangerously close to killing himself. And I thought, man, you know, hopefully, you know, he can make sure he doesn't make a mistake like that again. And then he threw that lance. I think he was definitely going for, hey, if I throw this lance into the mine, it'll get a ton of momentum. It'll hit Maltager, it'll send him flying, and you know, it sort of worked out, but he got a little too greedy and did it early. And, you know, hitting that too early, he was too close, and it just sent him flying.
Yeah, that was just really unfortunate to see that mine kill. After that, he kind of just gave up. He's like, okay, it's 3 stocks to 1. I'm probably not going to be able to close this out given how the previous match went. And just kind of decided to move on to the next set.
Yeah,
so I definitely... I don't know, I'm looking to see more from these players. I haven't seen Maltager in quite a while, but his Hotori is incredibly solid. His play in general is very solid. He's always so good at just winning those poke wars, knowing where you're going to be, and just kind of punishing at max range. It's just really nice, optimal play.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll be excited. Clipper, I think he's a solid player. He can do some... He can move up the loser's bracket maybe, and hopefully we'll see him again. But for now, we're going to go back to Designated Asian and Sparky. Thank you guys for having us.
I'm muted. I clicked like 3 things and I remembered. Nah, I'm muted. All right, Birthin and Egg Soup is going to be the next match. This is winner's bracket round 2. What's up, Sparky?
I'm excited to see Egg play. We saw him week 1, didn't we? For I think a couple of matches, he was very, very sick, and he just wanted to get that handful of points just to kind of boost him up a little bit. And we haven't seen him back since. I think he was still sick in week 2.
Yeah.
But he didn't elect to play.
Egg Soup has been he played week 1. We saw him play Diana, because that was the first time Diana came out, I believe.
Yes.
And he just kind of wanted to mess around with Diana inside of that and just kept doing that. And then he was sick for week 2 and 3. And then when we posted the points for week 4, and he was like, I am 16th seed. I
Yeah,
need more
he
points.
He was exactly 16th seed.
So he is here. He's going to play it out and try to get as many points as he can to guarantee him in that spot in the grand finals. On the other side, Berthan just started last week in the BCS. He came out relatively strong. He got a reasonable amount of points. And is
4.5.
4.5. All right, he got 4.5 points.
Has him at 15th right now, right in front of Egg Soup by only half a point.
Yeah, it's definitely close between the two. So we won't be seeing any stolen points, but either way, they're both fighting it out. They both want to guarantee their spots in the grand finals. And without further ado, I believe we are ready to go with Berthan versus Egg Soup. Berthan is going to be on that Bodvar. He's been mixing it up in ranked. You and I both have played against him recently. But I think Bodvar is his mainstay. On the other side, Egg Soup is playing Tyros. I don't know if this is a nod to me. I want to say it is. Nope. See, Hattori.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
I was going to say, odds are he's
hoping
not going to play Tyros.
I was hoping that with the recent axe buffs, that Egg Soup was on his flavor of the month grind, and it happened to be Tyros this month.
Nope, he is going to be sticking with that mainstay Hattori. Egg Soup, arguably brought Hattori into the limelight with his just aggressive Hattori play, getting some incredible strings that most people don't expect. And right now, Egg Soup, unarmed, has racked up quite a bit of damage, but those neutralites from Berthan are going to keep him at bay.
Now, Egg, I feel like Egg is stuck with Hattori more than he has any other character. He's taking more and more damage. Berthan is controlling that stage.
Oh, the big ground pound. Egg Soup was trying to be cute, goes around, but Berthan with that ground pound on top of him. Egg Soup wants to get that bomb hit. He's staying aggressive. But Berthan, with just very standard play, has been able to whittle down Egg Soup.
I'm still in shock that, no offense to Berthan, Egg Soup, known to be one of the best players in NA. I would say probably top 5. And that completely dominated in the first stock.
Absolutely. Berthan is making this look pretty simple and straightforward right now. Egg Soup is in a lot of trouble. That neutral air, one more of those might be able to finish off Egg Soup. Side stick doesn't connect. Egg Soup. Has Egg Soup picked up a weapon? Yes, he did. He picked up a sword and got like a down sig at one point. But the side light finishes off that stock, and Egg Soup is looking at a 3
another
stock.
death.
Egg Soup needs to turn on the Super Saiyan, needs to take off the training bands and go hard in the paint right now. But Berthan in the red. Is Egg Soup gonna get the stock? Yes, he is. Downlight.
There it is. I'm still very surprised at what we're seeing so far from Egg.
Absolutely. Very uncharacteristic. Egg Soup, known for very, very high mechanical skills, just very, very intricate things. And so far, he hasn't really been able to get a whole lot just there in that third stock. He was doing some cute stuff that we know Egg for, but the first two were very uncharacteristic. Maybe Egg's just still warming up. He just woke up. I don't know.
Egg is definitely notorious for waking up late for things, so maybe his alarm went off right before this match started.
Absolutely. There is a term.
He is
pulling an egg.
absolutely turning this game around right now. Oh,
that was a
missed.
delayed ground pound.
I think he had the chance for a rest there, and
He did. He absolutely had the opportunity for the ground pound, but just delayed it too much and ended up on the ground. But doesn't matter. This stock is not over yet. There's the rest. And Egg Soup has taken next to no damage. This is the Egg Soup that we are used to seeing. This just high aggressive, very intense play style that does not give you room to breathe. Look at that. Berthan tried to put one move out, and Egg Soup's ready with a downlight.
Nearest makes no difference. The game is even. Now Egg is ahead.
Stomp into a dare, and Egg Soup weapon toss, pick up dare. If Egg Soup finishes this off, it's borderline playing with his food. Side light. There's a side light from Berthan. Berthan has the sword. Can't get the dare. Egg Soup gets a dare, gets a nair. Berthan in the sky gets the weapon toss to keep Egg Soup at bay. Down sig connects, and Egg Soup takes it with the reverse 3 stock. And I want to say he was just warming up. He was playing one-handed, finishing a panini, I don't know, a breakfast sandwich, something, and then was like, oh wait, I might lose this. So let me put down my sandwich and we'll play it out. I don't know what happened, but Egg Soup turned it on in that last stock.
Burthen was showing so much stage control with those hammer throws. He had a hammer always in his hand, and there was almost always a hammer in the air, zoning Egg away, keeping those stun times completely on Egg Soup.
Absolutely. Egg Soup just, once again, he's one of those guys where you won't expect some of the stuff he does. He'll do a weapon toss and then just stay on top of you, pick up the weapon at some random point and catch you with like a move immediately. There's a downlight into his side air, tries to get the recovery, but Burthen is in the red. Egg Soup has taken 2 hits. Recovery catch. Can't get the sword Sair, but Burthen on his back foot gets a dare onto Egg Soup. Egg Soup with this sword. Oh, but Burthen trades out with that bomb. Egg Soup has the sword again. Burthen has the hammer. Sidelight into a neutral light from Egg Soup. Throws away the sword, but the ground pound from Burthen catches and takes down Egg Soup. Stocks evened up.
Excellent turnaround from Burthen right there. Showing his hammer superiority in the Edgeguard game.
Egg Soup, ground he throws the sword down and then immediately follows behind it, catches it, and gets a sword dare. That's just, it's just very intricate. What was that slide charge down sig? Stomp into a side sig from Burthen. Neutral light. Side air into a neutral light from Egg Soup. Spear toss, catches Burthen, picks up neutral light. And this just Egg Soup just does not stop pressing buttons.
Yeah, we see Egg Soup joke about that when he plays Lucian, to never stop attacking, never stop attacking, never stop attacking. But he's using a modified version of that right now. Burthen doing a good job of not
that's a nice ground pound.
being kept out of this game.
Absolutely. He's doing a good job of not getting completely run down, getting shooken by the Egg Soup and his very, very just dominating playstyle. Neutral light from Burthen. Oh, but the neutral air from Egg Soup is going to send Burthen into the sky. Throws the sword up. Goes for the neutral sig. Burthen's on the other side of the map. Egg Soup is trying to place traps down, but the Spear Sair catches.
Spear Sair. I do want to give Burthen a much-deserved respect. He had Egg in the orange in his last stock, whereas in the second stock, I think Egg had more than a full stock lead. And Burthen kept his aggression up, kept his skills up, kept himself in the game.
Absolutely. Burthen did a really good job. He survived, and he got Egg Soup to his last stock on each of those rounds. But with that, we're going to go over to the analysts to see what they have to say about Egg Soup versus Burthen.
Hey,
Wow.
what an incredible performance by Egg Soup.
Just such a tumultuous match altogether. I mean, Burthen started out incredibly strong, lots of weapon throws to kind of keep at bay a lot of Egg Soup's movement. It was really nice that he identified that pretty quickly in the first match. Egg Soup having all this fantastic movement, one of the most fluid players in the game, and Burthen just kind of kept him at bay with those large hammer throws, managed to capitalize on that into an early lead, but Egg Soup woke up, did what he needed to do, closed out that second match, the first match, and then the second.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Egg basically, you know, he's known for this really aggressive playstyle, and I think I heard Designated Agent at one point saying, like, Egg doesn't stop hitting buttons. He's got this way of constantly knowing what attacks to use and when, and reading his opponent is just something that he's so good at. And on top of that, he's got these really intricate and fantastic movesets. You know, he'll do things like, one thing I saw a lot was a neutral light momentum dodge into a down air when Burthen fell off the ledge. Like, that's something that a lot of players will try to grind momentum dodge combos in the training room, but as soon as, you know, they sort of go off the stage, you go into this air moveset. And most players I see don't really take too much advantage of that. Egg Soup knew exactly what to do in that situation. And you see that a lot just throughout the game with all these momentum dodges that he just, it's almost like, you know, the game is in slow motion for him. He'll do an attack momentum dodge and like his brain will go into overdrive and immediately know, hey, this is the time for a gravity cancel neutral sig. This is the time to do a perfect pivot into a down sig. Like, those are just the fantastic plays that come out of Egg Soup. And Berthan by no means played badly. He did a great job in that first match, but just overall, I saw it was very difficult for Berthan to keep up with the sort of really fast-paced play that Egg Soup really drives throughout the match.
Yeah, he definitely kept that second match very close as well, answering back with a couple great punishes of his own. I really want to talk about one where Egg Soup kind of read a little bit too early for that Hattori down sig with the sword. Started charging that up. Berthan getting just about the maximum punish possible. Just waiting for it to fire off, coming in with the down air into the recovery, which then he does the up air right after that, the neutral air rather. And just massive damage on that one simple punish. It was just really well played. And I really do like his pick of Blackguard Keep. He knows and saw that Egg Soup kind of relied and really does well with all this free movement, just able to kind of bob and weave all over the place, just snatching up weapons, doing intricate up throw setups as he's moving. And Blackguard kind of affords you a little degree of safety with that. It forces it into a bit more of a horizontal play area just because of that platform on top. If you go up high in the air, you're not as safe because you can't really come through that platform with attacks as quickly. And it does cover you from a lot of those up throw setups that Egg Soup was doing. Unfortunately, Egg Soup kind of converted it into a lot of edgeguard play, and we saw a number of those.
Absolutely. I mean, that's another thing. Egg Soup in general is really comfortable doing aggressive edge guarding, and I mean, it was really cool seeing him do. One of the things he did was this throw into ground pound and then picking up the sword and then doing a down air, and then following up with down air after down air and a bunch of ground pounds. And that was something that, you know, in edgeguard situations, a lot of people will try to go for the really classic approaches of, hey, I'll just use down air a lot, or I'll use ground pound a lot, depending on the weapon. But Egg Soup is able to add this certain variety to his play that's like, here's his weapon throw, and then I'll do a ground pound. I'll pick up the sword because it connected, and it's in my range. I'll follow up with a dare, and then I'll do a ground pound. Like, all these different options that he uses makes it really hard to read what he's doing throughout his play. And I think we're going to expect some great things with him throughout this tournament. With that, I think we're ready to move on to Designated Nation and Sparky. Thank you for having us.
All right, Sparky, up next, we're going to round 3 of the winner's bracket, and we've got Magma Bob versus Boomy. This is going to be an exciting match. Magma Bob, a teammate of Egg Soup, arguably similar play style to Egg Soup in the sense of it's a very aggressive sword heavy style. Magma Bob is he plays what is that character? Bodvar. He plays Bodvar. On the other side, Boomy also plays Bodvar. So this is going to be a Bodvar v Bodvar matchup. What do you think of these two players? One member from Boo, the other from Tier.
Magma Bob has had, I want to say, lukewarm success in the BCS so far. And Boomy's had reasonable success as well. Let me check his points right now. Boomy has 6 points. Magma Bob has 9.5 points. Maybe Boomy will have a fire lit under his feet after his just completely bonkers performance in it was yesterday's crew battle, right?
Yeah, Boomy came out real hard yesterday during the crew battle. Like I said, in the crew battle, he ended up taking 10 stocks off of Team Furrow before finally getting taken down, which is absolutely monstrous. And so Boomy has been showing up real hard lately and is kind of the front runner for Tier, in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, sorry, continue.
So yeah, it's Magma Bob. We've said it briefly before. Is Magma Bob is sort of known for being a momentum-heavy player. So if he's in the lead, he will tend to stay in the lead. And if something shifts or halts that momentum, it tends to be the similar kind of thing, but in the other direction, much to Magma Bob's misfortune.
Absolutely. And just one final thing of note: never ever try to fight Magma Bob on the wall. Magma Bob controls that wall so well. I've learned firsthand, if I ever try to ground pound Magma Bob, if it doesn't connect, I'm dead. Just that is a thrown away stop.
I tend to try and just not fight Magma Bob, period. There's never a place where I feel safe from the young Magma Bob.
Absolutely. And like I said, we are ready to go. We're going to give them the A-OK. This is going to be Boomy versus Magma Bob. This is going to be Tier versus Boo. Bodvar v. Bodvar. Very, very fast, aggressive playstyles on both sides. It is going to be exciting. And they're both running that collector's edition. Black versus white. That is something. I get him there. We're good.
All right, looks like we are getting into it. We are on Mammoth Fortress, and that small Mammoth Fortress has those very short walls. Not quite as short as Shipwreck, but still very short when you are on the losing end of an Edgeguard battle.
Absolutely, and there's the first ground pound, and Magma Bob's ready with that dare. Boomy has yet to touch the wall. There it is, and gets a hit back. And Magma Bob has been unarmed for a while, but has been staying even with Boomy. Down light, down air from Magma Bob. Tries to read the dodge out, gets a Sair, and Boomy gets back to the wall. Slide charge, down Zig, not going to connect.
We're 30 seconds in. Magma Bob's in the red. Or sorry, Magma Bob is in the orange. Boomy is in the red.
Boomy goes for the shark. He hits the hammer toss, but I think it bounced him out of the way of that bomb toss. Unfortunate for Magma Bob. That would have been a nice little advantage, but Boomy came back, has the hammer, and is now keeping Magma Bob off the map.
Boomy must have heard you, or at least knows himself, not to edgeguard Magma Bob. He was kind of waiting for Magma Bob to come back on top of the platform. We saw him just go in, but he was punished immediately. Boomy gets the Sair from
stomp, the gravity cancel
stomp. A little bit
stomp.
beyond the middle of the stage. That was enough to kill Magma Bob. Magma Bob can turn around with a downlight combo and immediately bring that game back to almost even.
Magma Bob's going to try to keep Boomy off this weapon. Instead, throws it away, picks it up so that Boomy just can't even have a chance of getting it. But Boomy gets his hammer. Magma Bob downlight, gravity cancel, downlight into, I believe that was a recovery or an air. Not 100% sure, but Boomy has the hammer and is going to try to get another stomp into his side air. Magma Bob tries to chase down onto a hammer, something most people warn you not to do, but Magma Bob doesn't care.
Afraid.
He does not care because the wall is his. He owns all of the walls. And Magma Bob's going to try to keep Boomy off of this one, but Boomy's got the soft platform to land on. Scoop! Tries to chase up, can't get the Sair. Another scoop. Do it again. Do it again.
Off the top. Looks like he was going.
Oh!
Probably would have died anyway, but Magma Bob throwing an extra little bit of flair into it.
Magma Bob, the trap god, threw the hammer out, got him with the Sair into the hammer toss, and has the unarmed big strings from Magma Bob, and Boomy has just now touched the ground after that huge unarmed. And Magma Bob.
And this was after unarmed had been tweaked a little bit, so you don't necessarily get those free strings if you hit the first hit. That was complete reading and adaptation from Magma Bob in the air.
That hurts. Boomy had the chance for the kill, got the downlight, but drops the dare. And like you said, Magma Bob making these huge adjustments with his unarmed. Boomy finally gets the kill with that recovery. But Magma Bob, with that unarmed, showing up huge. Gets a Sair.
Magma Bob in that fresh stock just got downlighted.
Throws
Boomy
everything.
In the red. Boomy in the ropes right now.
But Boomy made it back safely and is going to try to keep Magma Bob off this, but Magma Bob pops up recovery, and the first stock is going the way of Magma Bob.
I like that Boomy didn't get too aggressive there at the end. He knew he was in the red. Maybe he didn't know an uppercut in the air would have taken him out, but he knew that if he got even a little bit too much aggressive, just a simple dare or a simple nair would punish him into death.
Absolutely. Boomy, he recognized the health difference and didn't want to overcommit. I mean, to that regard, he was playing relatively safe against Magmabob on the walls in regards to those edge guards, but extra safe in that last stock. But one slight miscalculation jumped up for the Sair, and Magmabob was ready with that recovery. And here we go. Game 2 of round 3. Boomy versus Magmabob.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Great Hall is the map of choice.
I would expect to see multiple ledge cancels and multiple ledge cancels that were not meant to be ledge cancels.
Absolutely. Ledge cancels, intentional and unintentional on both sides. I like that edgeguard attempt from Boomy, but Magmabob intelligently dodges around it and gets back to the wall safely.
Magmabob looking for that neutral
Ooh.
sig read.
Just high enough that he didn't ledge cancel into that downlight, but it doesn't matter. Gravity canceled downlight, but couldn't get the third downlight. Bomb in Magbob's hand. He's going to look at the wall. No, doesn't get the hit.
Oh, we didn't see a ground pound there. Would have maybe liked to see a ground pound. I don't know. It might have gotten caught by the last frame of that.
The wall. There it is.
Oh, off the wall. Magmabob with the bounce pass. Boomy unable to catch it with anything but his face.
Stomp can't get the dare from Boomy. Boomy's staying relatively even right now. If he can finish off this stock, he won't be behind at all. Magmabob getting that unarmed, gets a dare, can't get the ground pound. Oh, there's an air. Finishes it off. Boomy not taking too much damage. He's alright. He's going to clear the board. Throws away the hammer. Wants to keep this sword. Nair from Boomy. Magmabob dodges down, gets Boomy back with a nair of his own. And a Sair will keep Boomy at bay. Downlight, downlight, down, air. Boomy keeps Magmabob off the map. But Magmabob with that nair gives him the room that he needs.
Ooh, Magmabob. There's another downlight combo from Boomy.
Recovery from Boomy is going to keep the damage on top of Magmabob. Magmabob has actually been on the losing side right now in this damage war. Boomy can't get the unarmed recovery to finish off that stock for Magmabob. And now he's on the ground. Boomy, if he gets a stomp, could finish it off. Magmabob goes for the gravity cancel side sig.
Dare!
And the dare will finish it off.
That ceiling can be so low sometimes on Great Hall.
Magmabob tries to get the slide charge down heavy. Scoop from Magmabob.
The hammer dare is enough to take out Boomy. Again, we are seeing these quick turnarounds from these two players, and in stocks and health staying relatively equal.
Yeah, they are trading blow for blow right now. Magmabob not in the driver's seat the way that he was last time. Downlight from Boomy, but he can't get the ledge cancel. You saw him jump up with the dare. There's a downlight, gravity cancel, downlight.
That's enough to
into
take out
a recovery.
Magmabob over the top. He was an orange.
Off the top, and we are even 1-1, Magmabob and Boomy, and that is the kind of plays that is why Boomy was able to take off 10 stocks yesterday.
That was ridiculous.
That was huge. It was
That
very,
gravity
very huge.
cancel, that downlight, gravity cancel, downlight, and then ending it with the recovery.
I mean,
Off the top, that was incredible, Boomy. That was absolutely incredible.
really well played on both sides. Here we go, game 3. They are staying even blow for blow, round for round. Who is going to win it and send the other down to the loser's bracket? Boomy versus Magmabob. Magmabob gets in with a nair, picks up the sword, gets a down heavy, and gets a nair into a recovery. Can't get another nair. But Magmabob is trying to keep on top of Boomy.
You see Magmabob throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Boomy right now.
Downlight catches, but he can't get the dare.
Boomy
Neutral
is
air.
dangerously red. That was an almost grounded neutral air that sent him that high in the air. Boomy not in a great position. Magma sitting pretty, barely has any damage on him whatsoever. Magma not afraid to get between Boomy and that mine.
Boomy though
After the ending to that last game, I would not give
Oh,
Boomy even a inch of space. Magma Bomb with that stomp into the Sair.
Boomy did a pretty good job of surviving and stretching out that stock. He was sharking around, you saw it. And he ended up getting Magma Bob into that orange, now in the red. Oh, catches the bomb. I think he was trying to pick up that weapon, but it doesn't matter because he caught the bomb. And Magma Bob, once again, try to get the damage onto Boomy. But Boomy is just using... Oh!
Magma Bob taking himself out, but absolutely
He's got to be screaming worth.
Absolutely worth. In every sense of the word, Magma Bob, more than a full stock at this point ahead of Boomy.
There. He's gonna pop back up, gets a down light, down air, goes down, and Magma Bob slide charge down sig not gonna connect.
That's that momentum from Magma Bob that I was talking about. You gave him that first stock, give him an inch, Magma Bob will take a mile.
Boomy gets to the wall, survives. He's just trying to play this vertical, wants to use that soft platform a little bit. But Magma Bob dodges under, gets the recovery, and now Boomy in the shenanigans. Hammer drop, and that is it. Boomy knows it.
Dead. A two-stock from Magma Bob.
Magma Bob
not even in the orange on his second stock yet.
Swinging in that third stock. And with that, we're going to hop on over to the analyst desk to see what they have to say about that Boomy versus Magma Bob match.
Yeah, well done by Magma Bob, closing that up on the third match. Both players played really well, but I think overall, Magma Bob's ability to put down some really good pressure edge guards is what really changed the pace of that match.
Yeah, I mean, the control he just kind of took over that center channel, the shenanigans area, as they like to call it, in the middle of Thunder Guard, closed out that match pretty quickly. Even that one, murder-suicide bomb that they like to throw, taking out both of them, incredibly worth it because it just solidified the lead that Magma Bob had created over the past couple stocks.
Absolutely, and I think this is one of those sets where map pick was super important because the map pick of Great Hall in that second set is what really got the ball rolling for Boomy, being able to get those gimps off the top. Using the low ceiling of Great Hall in relation to the top platform was something that really worked to his favor. The third death on Magma Bob's side was from like that downlight into recovery combo, and like that killed, which was fantastic for Boomy. And being able to win off of that is what really helped him. But I saw Boomy just say in chat he's really upset that he didn't ban Thunder Guard Stadium in that third match, and you could see Magma Bob make great use of that with that shenanigans area, and also just like the very low sort of space for Boomy to maneuver around edge guards. You could see him doing the little moving underneath and around a lot as he tried to avoid Magma Bob's just fury of attacks, and he just couldn't do it by the end.
Yeah, I mean, he really seems to flourish in those maps where it is kind of the small space to maneuver up top to keep all the fighting close together. But I don't know, edgeguard scenarios, we didn't see too much coming out from Boomy. It was more so straight kills off the sides or ideally off the top, as you were saying. And I think just yesterday, Duke was talking about the clan battle that happened, and he used that to great effect. So those maps like Great Hall, really great for Boomy. And I don't know, a lot of the more open maps where you do have a little more room to roam around, Magma Bob very quick, very aggressive. And I know his personal favorite that I usually see him pick is probably Mammoth Fortress. So we saw him play very well there, and Thunder Guard kind of giving that same feeling in a lot of senses. But you're right, he was really able to just capitalize on those edge guards. That last one in particular, sniping him out of the recovery with that weapon throw, just left him with no resources to get back.
And Boomy knew he was done as soon as he got hit by that weapon throw, which is why he did the quick suicide. Magma Bob's gonna move up. I expect, you know, he'll do great as he tries to gain more points. But until then, we're gonna go right back to Designated Agent and Sparky.
Sparky, we are still in round 3. We're gonna be doing Egg Soup versus Crocky. Tell me about Crocky, because we've already seen Egg Soup.
This should be interesting, because Crocky's had pretty good success playing. I don't want to say passive, and there's no way he's playing. There's no way. There's no way he's playing Brent.
He's a spear favored player. He loves his spear. He loves his spear on Ada.
Starting this set.
So maybe he's
asking if he's asking we good.
I think they're ready.
I don't believe it. I'm not falling for it. You're not
expect
gonna
the spear.
Ashton Kutcher, where are you? I'm not getting punked right now.
Are we gonna? I don't think this is a punk. I think he is dead serious. He is. Nope, they are locking it in. They're going. This is gonna be Crocky on Bryn. Unprecedented.
Nope.
Is someone on his account? Somebody
There's a camera here.
Call his
There's
house.
a camera here. There's no way.
There's no way that Crocky's playing anyone but Ada, but he is. Egg Soup on that Hattori. Crocky on Bryn, and Crocky gets a neutral light on Egg Soup. Neutral air. Crocky throws away. The mine has yet to pick up a weapon. Gets Egg Soup with a dare into a nair. Spears on both sides. Neutral light catches Egg Soup. Almost walks into the down sig, but Egg Soup doesn't catch him with it.
Crocky's winning right now.
I mean, they're going
Ooh,
even
Egg.
right now. Egg Soup currently
They both have the
unarmed.
same idea with that recovery, but Egg was just a little bit lower. Crocky jumping, avoiding that unarmed side sig.
Sword.
Oh, an Egg with the dare after that sword throw. That follow-up was enough to seal it. I don't think Crocky expected him to go that hard.
I mean, it's Egg. You gotta expect him to
right?
go. Egg Soup gets the neutralite into a weapon toss, catches into a dare, and Crocky's already in the yellow on this second stock. Egg Soup with that weapon toss is gonna keep Crocky off a weapon. Picks up a spear. Egg Soup almost got chased down by Crocky, but Crocky is on the receiving end of more damage. Egg Soup with that dare hits the bullseye, throws the spear, ground pound, and Egg Soup. Egg Soup says you should go back to Ada, man.
Yeah, come on, Crocky, just play Ada, homie.
Crocky can't get the side sig off in time. Neutralite interrupts. Neutralite again from Egg Soup. Crocky with the ground pound sends Egg Soup off the map, but he's still alive. With his first stock, mine not gonna connect. Ground pound connects. Dare connects. Ground pound connects. Dare connects.
We got it.
Egg Soup. 3 stock.
Getting a 3 stock onto Crocky.
Oh, child. That. Oh. Okay. Egg Soup. This is why Egg Soup is by and large a lot of people's most entertaining person to watch, because he just goes hard. He is a freight train running you down, and unless you're ready for it, you are going to get run over. Crocky, that's an Orion. Ada starts with A. I guess Crocky has something in mind.
3, 2,
But
1,
I'm legitimately flabbergasted right now.
Crocky came in as first seed with the most points for this week of the people who were playing, and Egg Soup is making that look null and void because he's like, I didn't get a play for like 2 weeks because I've been sick, and if I was playing, this is what would have actually happened. The down sig from Crocky catches. Egg Soup gets caught by the down sig. This adjust seems to have worked out. Egg Soup knows it and has to dodge down.
Crocky largely untouched. We're gonna have to eat our words.
I guess so.
That is only the first stock, though.
It's that spear. It's that spear that Crocky loves so much. He's just switching up which spear it is that he's using.
seeing Crocky throwing out a lot of downlights. Pugsy said recently, and just a casual
gravity cancel
conversation,
side sig.
that to play Spear, you have to read those downlights. If you can read those downlights, beating Spear is easy. But if you can't read those downlights, then you are going to be on the losing end.
Absolutely, those downlights are absolutely brutal. They cover so much. They cover stacked. They cover anti-air. It's an all-around good move.
Oh,
but
and
Egg
there we
Soup
go.
with that sword stare is gonna even up the stocks, but he's already in the red.
Yeah, Egg is still reasonably behind right now in game 2. Ooh, barely going past that line. That would have fell a little bit faster.
Egg Soup gets the downlight into a Sair, throws the spear up, but Crocky's on top of him and catches him with that neutral light. Ground pound not going to connect. Egg Soup wants to go onto him. Egg Soup doesn't care. He just wants to stay in, even though Crocky's basically full health and Egg Soup's in the red. Gets the wall touch. Ground pound.
There it is from Crocky. Finding that adjustment that he needed and exploiting it the best that he absolutely can right now. Essentially a full stock ahead of Egg Soup.
Side air catches. Egg Soup is trying to get on top of Crocky, but with these neutral lights, he's keeping Egg Soup just back. Neutral air. Neutral stick doesn't connect. Crocky tries to punish with a neutral light, but isn't able to. Both of them throwing out neutral lights.
Ooh, a great neutral light there, blocking that side stick from Egg.
Crocky just has so many just punish options right now. If Egg tries to approach by ground, he's gonna get neutral lighted. If Egg tries to approach by air the wrong way, he's gonna get down lighted. And if somehow he gets through all that, he's gonna get down sigged. And Egg Soup doesn't have
Egg
jumps.
just gets 2-stock. Egg just got 2-stock by A in Orion, B Crocky's Orion. Out of completely nowhere. Nobody plays Orion. Nobody plays Orion. But apparently Crocky plays Orion now.
Not to discount what Crocky did. Crocky did well, but Egg Soup, he gave up. He threw away that last stock. He was recovering, wanted to turn it around, and in Egg Soup fashion, missed a ground pound and didn't have any options left because he burned all of it trying to recover. But it doesn't matter. We're going to round 3, or game 3 of round 3. Egg Soup versus Crocky. Crocky's sticking with this war-torn Orion. I don't remember what the skin's called. This is a new skin for Orion. It looks super cool. Egg Soup says, I don't care.
We haven't really seen Crocky play Lance at all. I think doesn't really surprise anybody. But we haven't seen him use any signature but that down signature. The neutral sig, extremely situational.
I mean, it's that edge guard neutral sig, and it doesn't matter when Crocky's doing slide charge down sigs.
Yeah, that is down signature is Crocky's edge guard signature right now. But we're not even seeing the side sig, which, in my opinion, is good. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's good.
Yeah,
Ooh, multiple recoveries. Crocky has been so successful with spear ground pounds and spear recoveries in the BCS.
Side air. Oh, gravity cancel neutral sig. And Egg Soup wants to keep this aggression on, but like you said, Crocky is just very, very effective with that spear. Crocky fishing for those recoveries. He knows that if it catches Egg Soup, oh, there's a ground pound, and that'll finish it off.
Getting the first stock. Not easy against Egg Soup, and not easy against Egg Soup on Great Hall. We know Egg Soup loves this map. Egg Soup was an immediate adopter of the gravity cancel sword downlights and ledge cancel sword downlights to the point that you could get 4.
Yep.
If you change your direction, you could get 4 downlights.
But to that regard, how many has Egg Soup gotten? How many ledge cancels has he gotten today in this match?
Any?
Maybe 1, and it wasn't even like to continue a ledge cancel at the bottom. It was just he went for a downlight.
Now we're seeing Crocky with that lance. Will he throw it away? He's gonna throw it away, but he picks up another lance.
That is, if you are an Orion main who prefers spear, which there are a few out there, it's generally the lance toss into an unarmed. That is what they use the lance for, just the giant throwable hitbox.
Ooh.
Egg Soup gets the dare angle and sends Crocky into the mine, is gonna even up the health. Egg Soup throws up the sword, has the spear, gets a ground pound on a Crocky. Ground pound again onto Crocky. Ground pound, not going to connect this time. Gets a Sair. Bounces him off the wall, but Crocky should be alive for now. Yes. Downlight. Oh, not able to get the side air.
That Sair might have killed. I would have been surprised if it didn't. Crocky with that lance.
Spear thrown away. Gets a
Oh,
side
he's
light.
looking for the neutral sig. Neutral sig, I would say Orion's best signature on lance.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. But right
Side
now,
signature's pretty good, but it comes out slow. That bomb not active anymore.
gonna prefer. There's the Sair, and that
That's
finishes
Sair.
from mid-range. Crocky wants to answer back, finish off this stock, and get things back to even. But Egg Soup not gonna make it easy. Yes, maybe a little bit. Ground pound from Crocky. Neutral light from Crocky again.
We are definitely seeing an adjustment from Egg Soup compared to last game. It was a 2-stock last game, and now they've pretty much been neck and neck the entire game.
Absolutely, staying very even. Egg Soup, he wants to do that aggressive playstyle, but you're seeing he's not as successful against Crocky as he was earlier on.
And definitely
Oh!
that neutral sig.
Oh!
Or sorry, the down signature. I was just about to say, if you're an aggressive player, that down signature is one of your worst enemies. And Crocky putting it to good use, taking that game against Egg Soup.
That throw angle, you saw him throw it, it hit the wall a little bit too low, and Crocky ends up catching him with the down sig. And with that, we're going to go over to the analysts to see what they have to say that Crocky did to get through Egg Soup.
Egg Soup going from a 3-stock in game 1 into losing the set. That's got to be painful for him. But well done, Crocky, for really being able to read Egg Soup's movements and turning around all the momentum on that set.
Yeah, I mean, all right, there were a couple factors at play here, and we're going to talk about each of them very quickly. That first match, amazing. Highlight reel, that entire thing, especially that last stock. I don't know, Egg Soup just going for it in the classic sense of, this is their final stock, I will spend everything I have, it doesn't matter if I die because this is me winning this game. And he just went for it, got those many dive kicks, ground pounds, everything to spend all that Crocky had and just close it out right there, ending it with, of course, the gravity cancel taunt because, you know, why not? You have to. And I don't know, that might have actually hurt him going into the second game. And now what I mean by this is he was feeling himself a little bit too much. We saw him go for a lot of overly aggressive extensions, especially on the edge, possibly when he was not really at as much of an advantage. I mean, we saw that last one, it was 2 stocks to 1. He was behind a stock, and he still overextended for that, and that's what caused him to lose that match there.
Yep.
And even the stock right before that, he overextended trying to catch Crocky off the edge. And, I mean, Crocky just capitalized and closed that one out, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another big thing here was legend picks. And we saw Sparky freaking out about that quite a lot. You know, I'm not sure exactly what was running through Crocky's mind because we all know him as this very strong ADA main. And seeing him pick Bryn the first match was definitely surprising. And maybe that was the point. Hey, I'm going to throw something weird at Egg Soup. He's going to, you know, be surprised. Maybe I can throw him off his game. Obviously, didn't quite work out. However, the Orion pick, I think, had a great deal to do with one signature in particular, and that was the down signature.
Yes.
Because Orion's spear down signature and Ada's spear down signature are very similar, with the key difference being that Orion's is basically better. It's got a slightly bigger hitbox, it's got a couple of extra active frames, and in general, you know, that just allows him to use that signature a lot more. And you could see it, because he didn't use any other of Orion's signatures on spear. Only the one that he was comfortable with from using it on a different legend. And he capitalized really well on that against Egg Soup, using it as, you know, a dodge punish, using it in slide charges, using it in gravity cancels, and Egg just kept running into it, and that really took off a lot of health on Egg throughout the last set. and the second set for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely, and I really like the Orion pick mainly because Crocky's known for a couple things: spear play, and using those spears in weapon throws into some nice unarmed damage. Now with his Ada uses the guns, which have a generally smaller thrown hitbox. You know, just a pair of pistols versus a long, wide spear. And with Orion, you basically just get that twice. The lance covering a little bit more area even. And he was just able to use that either, oh, I've got the lance, I can weapon throw into unarmed as I want to, or, hey, the spear that I'm really, really comfortable with and probably one of the best spear players in the game.
Yeah, and guns tied with katars is the smallest weapon to try to throw weapons with. Not something he's particularly a fan of, I'd imagine. And so, you know, lance isn't something he was super, you know, great at using, I would say. But overall, it was enough that, hey, I'm going to throw this weapon a lot. It's going to help combo into other moves I'll use in the future. We definitely saw him, like, on lance sort of struggle in an edge guard situation with Egg. He, like, just basically kept using ground pound because that's about all he could muster. But overall, you know, with the weapon throws combined and the spear, his Orion was a really strong pick.
Amazing.
And I'm wondering whether or not that was something that he sort of reserved for Egg, or if he wanted to use that as this new, maybe trying to switch up his main, and we'll have to find out if in future setups he's going to use that against other players, as he is in winners, and we'll be seeing a lot more of him in the future. But now we're going to move on to our next match, and we'll see you after that. I'll hand it over to Designated Asian and Sparky.
I don't know.
I'm muted. I heard you typing and I was like, I'm probably muted. LDZ versus Magbob. This is the semifinals of week 4, round 4. This is Magbob versus LDZ. LDZ, like I was saying, is relatively new to the scene. Came out real hard in the Gravy Cancels. He is a Queen 9 main, has a very, very strong Nair game, very strong Qatar play, and Magbob, like we said earlier, very strong Bodvar, very strong edge guard. I don't know, is there anything you want to say about LDZ before we kick it off?
He's been doing work with that knife, so just let go.
All right, well, here we go. It's going to be Magbob versus LDZ, Queen Nai versus Bodvar.
I think they agreed to play on kings.
It was kings?
Yes, they said, you want to just do kings. And I'm surprised because nobody wants to play on King's Pass.
3, 2,
But here we go, Magbob versus LDZ on Kings. Interesting choice. On one hand, I would say it's strong for Magbob because he's got such a good edge game, but LDZ has those Katars, which are generally just really good edge guard weapons.
Yep. They can kill you with that Dare or a Sair real fast, especially if you're a little bit down below and near the edge.
Neutral air. Oh, Magbob not able to get the down air, and there's the Qatar nairs. It covers so much space around him, and there's more nairs. Those falling nairs from LDZ. Gets a recovery. Magbob has to get back. Gets caught by the down sig. The dare's gonna stop the outward momentum. He's not gonna get. Oh, he doesn't get the punish.
Right in between that bear claw on the head. Just completely bad luck for Magbob right there. The nair again. Is gonna get Magbob, and LDZ is gonna take that first stock. LDZ's in the orange right now, which on any other character is like, okay, he's in orange, but it's on Queen Nai, who's virtually unkillable.
Side air from Magbob.
LDZ going deep.
He is fishing for those nairs, but you saw he burned a lot of jumps, and there's the dare from Magbob. It's gonna finish off that stock, even it up, but Magma Bob is getting beaten down by LDZ.
No. That unarmed string from LDZ just reading Magma Bob. And Magma Bob is orange.
What?
LDZ
What?
Skip himself.
LDZ just fell to his death. There's the
Another
side charge
moment of
taunt.
worth today with Magma Bob.
LDZ was going hard. He had such a huge advantage, but miscounted his jumps, got caught by Magma Bob's dares, and just wasn't able to touch the wall. Ground pound from LDZ will even it up, but Magma Bob with the dare, and LDZ gets taken down! Oh my god!
Player 2 wins.
Magma Bob! What? LDZ.
Remember when you said to just not fight Magma Bob on the wall? That's why you don't fight Magma Bob on the wall, regardless of if he has a hammer, regardless of if he has a sword, regardless of if he's even paying attention. He just has an instinct in the back of his brain that just clicks on, and that gimp ferocity just takes over.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
Magma Bob, the edge guard god, takes down LDZ, and they're staying on King's Pass.
I was about to give LDZ props for immediately turning that around, but not this time.
Nope. We'll see if Magma Bob's able to pull it out again, or if LDZ will keep track of his jumps this time. Looks like LDZ wants to stay far away from that shenanigans area, but Magma Bob doesn't care. He's going in there. Can't get the dare onto LDZ.
Now, shenanigans area was originally named for Thunder Guard. Oh no, Magma Bob!
Oh, Magma Bob!
Tries to reset with the dare, doesn't get it. LDZ feeling good with a taunt right there.
He bumped his head. Magma Bob throws away the stock. LDZ stock advantage. Gets a neutral light on Magma Bob. Tries to read the dodge down, but the bear catches LDZ.
I'm surprised that killed.
Thumbs up for Magma Bob. Magma Bob.
I'd say this game has been 80% in the shenanigans. Last game was 95% in the shenanigans.
I mean, it is definitely a shenanigans favored map. Magma Bob almost bumps his head again, but LDZ backs off and says, nah, it's okay. I won't take this one. Slide charge down sig doesn't connect. Magma Bob gets the hit, but LDZ's got those Katars that he was very, very effective with last game.
Nair.
Spike ball picks up the sword. Gravity cancel neutral light from LDZ catches Magma Bob. Ooh, able to get underneath the neutral sig. Gravity cancel neutral sig.
Read from Magma Bob.
Spike ball hits him, and Magma
Him
Bob
down.
takes the stock advantage.
LDZ probably thought he was safe going under that stage. Magma Bob throwing it at that perfect angle, though.
LDZ throws a mine up, catches it, tries to drop it down on Magma Bob, but Magma Bob ducks under. And LDZ, see you on the Reddit, sidelight into the mine. Magma Bob and LDZ even in stocks. LDZ with the weapon advantage now. LDZ catches Magma Bob with that neutral light. Down light, down air from Magma Bob.
Ooh. Those devastating side airs.
Magma Bob gets a nice side air onto LDZ. Just dodging around. Back to the shenanigans, but this time Magma Bob's going to go back up. I think he wants to play a little bit more standard. A little bit. But he has not been able to get the hit onto LDZ.
Magma Bob is afraid of those nairs, and I do not blame him.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't blame him. Those Katars are just so rough, and they come out so fast, despite the most recent nerfs to them. Recovery catches, and he's going to go back to the safety. And now that the Katars are out of LDZ's hands, Magma Bob is unafraid to go into that shenanigans area. LDZ's looking for the Katars. You saw him throw away the spear. Throws away the spear. There's the Katars. And Magma Bob's going to be staying on the ground. Side air catches LDZ. He's got 8 defense. He's going to go down to the shenanigans. No, baits. Oh, but he gets the wall touch. He gets the wall touch. That was a dangerous play. If Magmabob had been able to punish that up dodge or been able to burn LDZ's dodge. Oh, but the ground pound from LDZ.
That might be it.
Magmabob gets to the wall. Oh, but the side air from LDZ gets it.
Player 1 wins.
Showing versatility to where he could use that move. He was using a lot of Sairs, but he was using it with such versatility that he was able to take out Magmabob and punish Magmabob with it anywhere on the map.
You saw the adjust from Magmabob, man. He recognized the danger of those Katars in that shenanigans area. So, like I said, he was playing a little bit more on the ground when LDZ had those Katars, but LDZ was able to pick up Katars immediately after losing them. And here we go, game 3. Do you think they switched maps?
No.
Well, you would be right. King's Pass it is. Game 3 of winners semis. Magmabob versus LDZ. Can Magmabob keep Katars out of LDZ's hands? Or will LDZ just absolutely control the pace with those Nairs and Sairs? LDZ has the Katars already. Magmabob finally picking up a sword.
We've seen very little from Magmabob's hammer this set against LDZ. In fact, I think every time he's gotten a hammer, he's almost immediately thrown it away.
Ooh, able to avoid that neutral sig. Yeah, I mean, what does Magmabob accomplish with that hammer? He missed one neutral sig, and he hit a neutral sig. That's about it, right?
Yeah, I think that's about it. I would have expected to see some recovery and some down air play, especially in that shenanigans area. But maybe Magmabob just feels and believes more in that sword.
I think he just prefers how quickly those dares come out, but the Sair from LDZ comes out faster, and Magmabob gets taken down. First stock going the way of LDZ. Magmabob dodges forward, gets a sidelight, but personally, I don't think the hammer is that great inside of that shenanigans, especially against Katars. Bomb in Magmabob's hand, doesn't opt to throw it up towards the wall, instead tries to read a dodge down from LDZ.
We're seeing a lot of Sairs, unarmed Sairs coming out from Magmabob. That unarmed Sair has a shocking amount of...
Sair from Magmabob will finish it off, but Magmabob's already in the yellow thanks to those Katars from LDZ. They're just absolutely devastating.
Even though they were kind of halfway trading Magmabob with hammer and LDZ with Katars, with all of that Queen Eye force, even on Katars, you don't want to trade. You will lose no matter what. And LDZ with a slide charge neutral sig.
You saw there was a moment where LDZ wasn't sliding and Magmabob had to have thought, okay, I can punish with the recovery, and then suddenly LDZ slides off the wall and is right next to Magmabob and catches him with that neutral sig, and LDZ has the stock advantage and is looking to run away with it. It's gonna take some of those round 1 gimps from Magmabob. But LDZ with his Katars is bound those round 1 gimps from Magmabob. But LDZ with his Katars is bouncing Magmabob around.
We are seeing that momentum coming into play. LDZ just took Magmabob from yellow to red real quick.
Neutral light from LDZ. Magmabob with that hammer. Interesting lack of gravity cancel down sig from Magmabob. Dare catches LDZ. LDZ comes up, gets a dare back onto Magmabob. Magmabob's gonna have a lot of trouble right now. He's taking so much damage. Throws the bomb down, but LDZ's already next to him. Neutral sig not gonna connect this time. Magmabob's ready. Goes for the ground pound. Can't get the recovery. And LDZ with the nair sends Magmabob into the sky.
LDZ wisely waiting.
Mine!
Oh, that mine is gonna hit.
But Magmabob's in the red.
Yeah.
LDZ's got it. If LDZ is careful and doesn't overcommit down in the shenanigans, then it's gonna be on LDZ to lose it. And there's the nair.
Oh,
finishes it off.
Our nair was enough to kill.
LDZ.
He was looking for those Sairs earlier, but all it took was that unarmed nair.
That Queen 9 Qatar, man. That's what we were saying. But with that, we're gonna hop on over to the analysts to see what they have to say about King's Pass.
So,
What?
Creed,
Another
tell me
turnaround.
about King's Pass.
Oh man, both of these players loving King's Pass. I knew for certain that Magma Bob was someone who's really into just King Pass and shenanigans area. He's always loved King's Pass, and he's always been a fan of, edge guarding right down the middle with both weapons. Hammer commands a lot of vertical space, and with sword, the down airs and ground pounds are just really hard to get away from. LDZ, his Katars and his Nairs are something that is really dangerous in such a small space. And that's definitely something that we saw in those last 2 matches. But first match, I don't want to call it a fluke because Magmob did play really well, but getting 2 kills at white health was something that basically carried him through that first match. And I think that LDZ, once he saw what was going on right at the beginning, went, hey, I know how to avoid these. And just stuck to his roots, was very careful, and overall, was able to take away all that sort of positive momentum that Magmob had from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, we'll call that first match a lesson in why you should always attack downwards whenever your opponent chases you about level that far down the map. Because if you attack upwards, you give them back a jump, and they get sent upwards.
Mm-hmm.
If you attack downwards, you just might get that trade and bring them down with you. Now, as you said, LDZ kind of saw that and was like, all right, hold on a minute. We're going to run that back, and I'm just going to let you bury yourself with that methodology. And he did. I mean, Magma Bob ended up just kind of killing himself down the channel without being able to recover for trying to go after LDZ or bait him into a similar scenario. So that's where he kind of started going off the rails a bit with that second match. But there was a common thread throughout the last 2 matches, and it was Magma Bob being a little bit overly cautious after that change. And he just missed a lot of punishes that he definitely could have gotten into some serious kills, primarily when watching LDZ recover. So you only have your 2 air jumps, your recovery, and then the dodge, which is on a 3-second cooldown about in the air. So after seeing LDZ spend all 3 of his standard resources, he's only got the dodge left. But Magma Bob would kind of back away off the ledge a little bit, maybe go find a different weapon. And I think that kind of cost him a lot of opportunities that he could have capitalized on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, I think one of the big things was that, in match number 2, right at the beginning, Magma Bob, Z'd himself. He kind of suicided as he struggled to maneuver around the very bottom of King's Pass. And I want to say that kill scared him. And after that, he started trying to play too conservatively. And I think that that really, made it hard to edgeguard LDZ properly without going full aggressively. Because LDZ knows how to space himself properly. And, both players are very aware of, their 2 jumps, their dodge, and their recovery, and when to use what. And I think that Magma Bob's turning point was definitely that self-kill.
Yeah.
And so hopefully in the future, Magma Bob's going to go down to loser's bracket, but he's played a really strong set of matches so far. I think if he sticks with his roots, he can absolutely come back from this.
Yeah, and I do just want to touch quickly upon a little bit of the gameplay choices that Magma Bob made, and they are very important, especially in the matchup against such an accomplished Qatar player like LDZ on a map like King's Pass. Now, I know Duke and Sparky were talking about how Magma Bob didn't really stick with the hammer too often, generally favoring the sword outside of a couple really nice scenarios with that gravity cancel, the neutral sig, the big bear with the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, the hammer, most of its high-powered kill attacks, particularly in the channel, especially since that's lower to the ground, you're going to be looking for either ground pound, which, a little bit slower, you're not really going to catch LDZ
and
with
a
that too
thinner
much.
hitbox, you can absolutely avoid that.
So then you'd be looking for the hammer recovery. However, that means you need to be below them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're below Qatars, they have their ground pound, they have their down air, they have their side air, they have their neutral air.
It's so many options,
kill you.
absolutely, yeah.
Being above them takes away all of those options. Most of them, they pretty much are just left with, the side air, maybe down air stacked. Neutral air is going to start sending you upwards. So it's just a really nice calculation of play as to kind of how to combat that and why he went for the sword, which relies on being above your opponent, versus the hammer, where it's stronger below the opponent.
And with that, we're going to move on to the next match. I'll hand it back over to Designated Asian and Sparky.
I swear I pressed unmute. I swear I pressed it. This is the second part of the winners semifinals bracket. This is Crocky versus Stevenator. Stevenator's gonna try to make up for what Egg Soup was unable to do. Crocky is actually gonna be playing Ada this time, of all things.
I'm a little bit confused as to why Crocky would switch to Ada on game 1 after such a dominant performance with Orion. Maybe he's played matches in between since then, and for some reason his play just went down the drain. Or maybe he just knows that this will have a better chance against the ferocious Stevenator.
It might be a playstyle thing, to be completely honest. Like we were saying during the Egg Soup matchup, the down sig from Orion is very, very good at stopping that aggressive playstyle from Egg Soup. Stevenator, arguably aggressive as well, but maybe not aggressive enough to fall for those down sigs the way that Egg Soup does. But they are gonna go. This is Crocky versus Stevenator. 1 second.
I don't know. I would disagree with you a little bit there, because Stevenator definitely plays aggressive. Sometimes, I don't want to say stupidly, but needlessly aggressive and very unsafe with his levels of aggression, to the point that it's cost him plenty a game in tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, true. But I think Egg Soup, we saw him kind of overcommit, right? He was recovering, he ground pounded towards Crocky and fell to his death because he had burned all of his options recovering like literally seconds before. I don't know if Stevenator is the type of person to make those overcommitments the same way, but right now Stevenator is staying even with Crocky, or maybe just Crocky is it's kind of disrespecting Stevenator since he doesn't have to bring out the Orion. Recovery not going to connect for Crocky. Side air connects. Stevenator coming back. Are we going to see the Stevenator special? No. Ground pound from Crocky. Finishes it off.
Crocky in a reasonably good position right now. Already gotten a few hits on a Stevenator in that fresh stock.
Downlight side air from Stevenator is trying to finish off the stock, but Crocky is just racking up that damage. Downlight, down air. Scoop not going to connect for Stevenator. He's fishing for it, but Crocky gets under, gets a downlight into his side air, and Stevenator getting knocked into the orange. Scoop! There it is.
The dare is going to scoop him up to the heavens. But like you said, Stevenator is in the orange. Crocky is in a very pristine, clean white right now.
Stevenator just wasn't able to get a lot. Crocky extending that first stock has already done so much damage. Almost gets the recovery, but Stevenator dodges through it. Neutral sig not going to connect, but Stevenator was trying to nair into it. Stevenator not able to punish the ground pound. Weapon tosses from Stevenator are actually working out. They're giving him openings, but Crocky gets away from it and immediately neutralite, chase dodge, down light, slide charge, down sig, finishes it off.
Stevenator just taking more and more punishment from Crocky right now. Almost a full stock ahead.
Side light, side air from Stevenator. Side air from Stevenator. Can't get another side air. And Crocky gets back to the wall. There's a neutral light from Crocky. Tries to go for the chase dodge downlight, but can't quite get it. Stevenator downlight, gravity cancel, side stick.
That's a little bit unorthodox, which is maybe why Crocky fell for it.
I mean, it was a mix-up. And it almost worked. If Crocky had a little bit more damage on it, it would have taken out the stock. and given Steve what he needed, but right now Stevenator is in the orange
Crocky able to
on his
make
last
it back,
stop.
even though he used his dodge, he used everything, and that is going to take Crocky out. But Stevenator again in the orange.
Stevenator jumping around. Weapon toss, pick up, neutral light. Crocky wants to do the exact same thing, but doesn't have to get the hit with the weapon toss to get the neutral light onto Stevenator. Recovery. Recovery. Stevenator dodges under, but not able to punish. Ground pound sends Stevenator upwards. Steve is in the red, is dodging around, trying to find the opening. Can't get the punish.
Another ground pound.
Oh, and there's another ground pound
Player 2
for the
wins.
Crocky to take
Crocky
down
making it-
Stevenator.
Making it look a little bit easy.
It was very standard of Crocky, right? Just
Yeah.
chipping away,
He was-
just ground pound, throws out a move. When you come in, ground pound.
Very by the book spear play
It is,
that was able to take out Stevenator.
yeah, I mean,
Little bit strange.
I don't know. Stevenator's going to have to
Crocky's-
make an adjustment.
Crocky is going to stick with that. It looks like they are going to the boat on Shipwreck Falls.
For some reason, I was going to say Shipwreck Cove.
I almost did. I had to think about it.
I literally sat there for a second thinking, is it Cove? Is it Falls? Crocky
Oh,
with
Crocky
his
with an
big
all-out
unarmed.
spring. That was white to orange
Oh my
in
god.
less than 10 seconds.
But Stevenator survives for a little bit, gets back, gets the weapon toss into a hammer neutral light. Weapon toss wants to show off some unarmed of his own, but can't get the dare. Gets the neutral sig read onto Crocky and has evened it up just a little bit thanks to that 3 defensive 8 up with a ground pound from Crocky. Sends Steve off the map, and it's on Shipwreck where it's so
Oh.
hard to recover. Ground pound again from Crocky finishes it off.
After Crocky got Stevenator's dodge with that mine, that stock was absolutely free. That was a free kill for Crocky right there. Stevenator had no other option.
Scoop from Stevenator. I like that little moment from Crocky. Throws the spear up and catches Steve in the neutral light and gets him with the spear toss as well as a little bit of icing on that kick. Stomp, chase, dodge, recovery, but can't follow up. Stevenator, he's been trying out the new tech. There's a scoop.
Stevenator didn't chase Crocky into the air there. I'm extremely surprised,
Ooh.
but there Stevenator is going to get the kill. But again,
No
Crocky's in the
options.
white, Stevenator's in the orange.
Absolutely. Stevenator has to come up big with another string here. Throws away the
Second
sword.
verse, same as the first.
He's being a little bit successful with this unarmed. Crocky almost dodges onto the mine.
Oh. Crocky stopping in his tracks before he walked into that mine. Stevenator looking to send him to Reddit with that side light.
Stevenator now has the hammer. Crocky's fishing for these recoveries, but Stevenator not able to punish. Stomp, side air from Stevenator. But Crocky, with that unarmed side air, knocks him away. Downlight can't get the side air follow-up. Downlight side air from Crocky. He'll finish off that stock. And unless Stevenator can finish this stock quickly, we're going to see a repeat where Stevenator gets the stock but is already in orange.
In the past couple weeks, we saw Crocky, I don't want to say abusing because he was doing it to very good success with the spear recovery and spear ground pound. We were seeing a lot of those two moves. But this week, we've seen a lot more variation and Crocky utilizing the full kit, especially those downlight sayers, downlight nairs, and some recovery follow-ups. We've seen every move in Spear's kit against Stevenator multiple times today.
Absolutely. Those neutral lights are just absolutely oppressive. They stop forward movement. And we're already seeing Stevenator in the orange. And I don't think he's hit Crocky on this new stock. He's just fishing for side airs right now. But Crocky, he's reading it and punishing. There's a downlight side air from Stevenator. Can he finish off this stock? Downlight, down air, side air. But Crocky's still alive. No recovery connection for Stevenator.
Stevenator missed timing that recovery.
Downlight side air from Stevenator will take it down, but he's in the deep red. And unless Stevenator turns up real hard right now, it's going to be going the way of Crocky. Ground pound. Stevenator's got to hold on to that dodge.
Ooh.
Gets a dare onto Crocky. Ooh, makes it past the ground
Wow,
pound.
that quick recovery from Crocky. There's the downlight.
Drops
There
the
misses.
Sair.
That's what Crocky wants right now. Is definitely that downlight Sair.
I mean,
Even though I would maybe choose for a recovery.
Recovery.
And there he goes for the recovery.
at that point, basically, Crocky could throw any kill move and it would have been enough.
Absolutely.
And with that, we are going to go over to the analyst to see what Crocky is doing so successfully.
Stevenator missing his opportunities. Crocky doing a fantastic job. That string in second game was
my God.
a huge show of strength, and
Massive.
I think psychologically, I mean, if we're talking mentality as far as fighting games go, something like that can really weigh you down.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the way that he got the kill on the end of that stock. As I heard Sparky say it, forcing the dodge with that mine toss, and then just, ground pound because Stevenator had no options left. So that definitely gets under your skin. You gotta be thinking about it, especially because that gave Crocky such a large lead in the second game once he was already up 1-0. So I don't know. I don't think that really boded well for Steve going in.
Yeah, absolutely. Stevenator, these past few weeks, I think he's been a little on the down low as far as 1v1 tournaments go, and that sort of slight lack of practice, I think, can really hurt you in a set against someone as great as Crocky. But for sure, definitely don't put it against Stevenator. He played a great match both times. In that second match, after Crocky got that huge string, Stevenator almost closed it up. They were both in red in the second stock. Steve just had a lot of trouble after he died trying to kill off Crocky to even it up, and he just couldn't do it. Crocky doing a fantastic job with weapon throws and to get interrupts, keeping a safe distance away from Steve, and that made it so difficult as Steve tried to basically fish for whatever he could to get that final kill on Crocky. When he couldn't do it, Steve was able to get in the hits, and suddenly, Steve was out of options and died.
Yeah, and I just want to touch on one of the commonalities we've seen among all the characters that Crocky's been playing today. He goes for a lot of slide-charged spear down sigs off the edge. And I know we were talking about this during the match a little bit. It covers so much horizontal space. It's not even a question of, okay, are you going to recover near the wall or just off the wall? Just the general areas you go when you're trying to avoid a ground pound on one side or the other. But it kind of covers that same area of the spear ground pound, except not nearly as vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's incredibly scary, and it forces you to have to recover out wide. And I don't know, Crocky's been getting a lot of mileage off of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of his strongest sigs. And, like we were talking about with his game against Xu, switching to Orion is, I want to say, like, 60% that decision comes from that down sig, with the other 40% being that Lance is big and easy to throw. And, that's definitely not to say that Ada's spear down sig isn't bad. And we could see it in his use against Stevenator, doing that or the slide charge off the ledge, forces your opponent into sort of trying to back off in that horizontal space, and if they try to approach too much, then they'll just get caught, and that thing will send you flying off.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And I think with that, we are heading back over to Sparky and Duke.
I have like 4 things that I need to do every single time, and the OBS muting is the last one. Ugh! I'm
All right,
so
for
sorry.
next week, your homework is to make a little sticky note, and you write the 4 things that you need to do, and you just stick it right on your monitor. That's your goal for next week.
Ugh. I'm sorry. Every single time. I even knew it. I knew it when I was coming in. I was like, I'm gonna forget. Anyways,
But as
tell
for
me
what
what's
we have
tell me
in
what's down the
store,
pipe.
obviously we have a handful of more matches today. We will be getting the points to y'all either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. We're definitely going to see a lot of stolen points today. We're going to see a lot of seeding changes and place changes heading in to the biggest show of them all for the BCS right now, which is the grand finals next week. $750 prize pool. The top 16, the biggest boys of the biggest boys, will be playing next week. How is the structure of the tournament going to be next week? Fill me in.
For the top 16 of this BCS championship?
Yo, sir.
Yep. Okay. Well, that is going to be a top 16 double elimination tournament. Pretty straightforward. Basically, the people with the points, the top 16 points, are going to be fighting it out, and they're going to be seeded based on how many points they have. As of right now, I believe the top 3 seeds are more or less set in stone. Pugsy will be probably first seed. I believe Pickled Potatoes will be the second seed, and third seed will be the one and only EXO. Going down the line remains to be seen, but right now they are still fighting it out. And the top 3 people who end up winning in that tournament will be earning a chunk of that $750 prize pool. And then after that, what is happening, Sparky?
Well, that's not the only tournament going on next week. The very next day, I believe that's at noon as well?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, at the exact same time, the very next day is the BCS 2v2 crew battle. We've had a lot of 1v1 tournaments, obviously, with this series. There's always 1v1 tournaments going on with Gravy Cancel, Brawl League. There's just community tournaments popping up all over the place. Everybody loves them some esports. But this is going to be a 2v2 crew battle, which is a little bit different than just standard 2v2, because you have your crew, you have your handful of teams made up entirely of your crew. And give me some of the people that are entered in that.
Well, we've got players from these teams. We just saw Boo, we saw Vex, we saw Tier. I believe Feroz signed up, Kingdom Esports is signed up, as well as many other that I don't think a lot of people have heard of, such as Frost, BX3 signed up, Cassidy's Cupcakes is signed up, and many others, but only the top 8 are going to be able to play inside of it. And how is that going to be formatted, Sparky?
I believe it starts out with a round robin?
Yes.
Yes, it starts out with a round robin, and then the top... Which ones?
4.
Which ones get to go onto the
Top
4?
4.
The top 4 get to go into a double elimination tournament?
Correct. It is going to be a double elimination tournament, and everyone who makes it into the top 8, who makes it into the tournament, is going to be getting a chunk of that $1,500 prize pool, but only the top 4 are going to be getting the big chunks. Everyone else, it's going to trickle down to. But stick around, watch it. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a lot of really good 2v2 tournament action. But for now, we are looking at the losers bracket. I'm getting word that Egg Soup already played his match against Magbob.
Ooh, Egg.
So we're waiting on PKPR versus Berthin. And then after that, it'll be the winner of that goes on to fight Steven Ander, who we just saw fight Crocky. And the winner of that is going to go on to fight Egg Soup. The winner of that is going to go on to fight the loser of Crocky versus LDZ. Either way, Vex is in the top 3. There's 2 members of Vex in the top 3. And, yeah.
So since I guess we have a little bit of time while we're waiting on PKPR and Berthin, back to that 2v2 tournament. That is going to be, I think, one of the first chances since we've gotten a handful of sponsors from Kingdom Esports, from Vex Gaming, from BX3. That is going to be one of the first chances for those groups as a clan to kind of throw their weight around and see what the clans as a whole can do, and what they're made up of, with every member belonging to those organizations. Every now and then, like today, we see a couple Vex people, we see a couple Kingdom esports people, we've seen a couple BX3 people, we see a couple Boo people, but this is gonna be the crews and the clans' chances to work together and see what they can see. Who is the strongest? The strongest team. A team is only as strong as their weakest link, and we'll finally be able to see those groups kind of meshing together and working as one functional unit.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those situations where, like you were saying, it's not going to be the individual player, but it's actually going to come down to the clans and their entireties. Well, at least up to 5, or a minimum of the 5 of their members. I'm getting word that PKPR and Berthan are just now starting round 3 of their losers bracket set. But the format of this is going to be two people from each clan, and then another 2 members each time. They're not allowed to have repeats of the same players and or combinations, and no player can play 2 rounds in a row. So there's no situation where one player is ultimately carrying their team through their sets or anything like that. Is gonna actually truly come down to the teams themselves, and we're gonna see if maybe some of these teams get a little bit pruned after this for maybe not keeping their weight.
That's extremely negative.
I'm kidding. But it's gonna like you said, it's gonna be an opportunity for a lot of teams to kind of flex their muscle, and maybe a lot of opportunities for sponsors to come in and say, hey, well, this team did really well as a whole, and maybe they should pick up that entire team instead of maybe just bits and pieces or anything like that.
Exactly, because that's been kind of the revolution of sponsorships so far in Brawlhalla. We haven't seen one player getting let's just say Intel sponsorship. We saw Ren picked up kind of as a functional
as a
unit,
clan, right?
Yeah, as a clan. We've seen was it
BX3
Z?
picked up most of the members of Z, not the entirety, but a reasonable chunk of Z.
And Kingdom
picked up what was Void. Void.
Yeah, it was Void.
It was Void. So Kingdom Esports picked up Void. Those are the 3 biggest organizations that we have right now, I believe.
And maybe I'm wondering to see if that is gonna be the future of Brawlhalla esports. I think that'd be really interesting, because you see that in other games, like you see that in Smite, you see that in League of Legends,
right,
because those are team games. Where this at its highest level is a 1v1 game. Like
right.
You have, I think, C9 Hungrybox in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
But
sure.
you don't necessarily have that many teams as a group being picked up in those esports.
Right,
so
right.
I wonder if that's going to be the advent of Brawlhalla esports as a whole.
Is more clan focused instead of the individual. I mean, technically speaking, like you're saying, there's nothing stopping an organization or a sponsor picking an individual, picking one, maybe even only 2 players that they want to hold underneath their mantle. But so far what we've been seeing is maybe it's a little bit of the players, right? Saying like, if you want to sponsor me, you got to sponsor my clan. We don't actually know what is happening in their contracts or anything like that. But we are seeing a lot of clan pickups instead of just individual players inside of this.
I'm not very familiar with other fighting games esports scenes. Is there? I don't see how
it's usually individual. It's usually by the individual.
Yeah, so there isn't as much of a clan basis as there is in Brawlhalla in other fighting games, is there?
Well, there are clans. There are organizations and clans. Hold on, let me think about this for a second. And this is actually a situation where we might even want to bring in TWK, because TWK does watch other fighting game communities as well. But it in general, it's like like Complexity was a big sponsor back when I was following it. And Complexity sponsored only like 1 or 2 players, but they didn't work together as really a clan. They were just kind of a thing. or like, you know, like you were saying, Cloud9 sponsors like 1 or 2 players. There's never really a big emphasis on teams the way that MOBAs generally do it. But right now, once again, we're waiting on Berthin versus PKPR. They just started their round 3 a couple minutes ago, and we don't really want to hop in midway through their match. Ideally, we would watch Bangba versus Egg Soup, but Egg Soup had to go and ruin that for us. So if you want to be upset at someone, be mad at Egg Soup.
Yeah, be mad at Egg Soup. Not me.
We're just here accidentally muting and unmuting ourselves.
Well, that you.
Right.
I'm
I'm just here.
Don't you say we.
All right. Fair enough. But yeah. Do you want to just go to a loading screen for a little bit and give away some community colors in the background?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Let's do it.
Let's just give out this.
Stick around. We'll be back. Wait,
the
nope.
chat.
Oh. As I say that, Zenigan says, join on me. I think we are good to go. And we have Stevenator versus PKPR.
Perfect timing. And keep in mind, this is losers round 5. This is not losers finals yet, so we are still in the best of 3 stages.
Correct.
Right now.
This is losers round 5. The winner of this goes on to fight Egg Soup in the losers semifinals, which is also going to be a best of 3 set. We've got Stevenator versus PKPR. PKPR, we saw him play last week, was a pretty strong Thatch main. Stevenator is hovering on Ada. Interestingly enough, I guess Crocky kind of beat Ada into him. Stevenator's just looking at Diana now.
We might see some Diana. That would be
I
one of the first times other than Egg. That's it.
All right.
That is a Diana. This is one of the first times we've seen Diana, aside from Egg just kind of I don't want to say phoning it in because he was very ill, but let's just say goofing around.
He wasn't seriously doing any. He was just kind of playing Diana because Diana's out and kind of messing around with it and seeing how effective Diana can be. But here we are, game 1, and Stevenator's got this bow. PKPR is looking for that sword. There's the sword. It's a nice side air onto Stevenator. Stevenator catches him with a nair, gets a side sig onto PKPR, and can't get the gravity cancel neutral sig. Dare. This down sig doesn't connect for Stevenator. Dare connects. Stevenator is fishing for these signatures right now.
We're definitely seeing more signatures right now from Stevenator.
Side sig connects.
Period.
Stevenator picks up a bow. PKPR finally picking up another sword, but gets a nair onto Stevenator. Downlight into a Sair from Stevenator. But it's a very oddly paced game right now. Stevenator, not his characteristic aggression that we know so well. He's just kind of looking for opportunities to sig. It's
yeah,
awkward.
especially with guns. With Bo, he's been kind of pacing it out with fishing for dares.
There's the signatures, just fishing for signatures. And Stevenator catches him with, or PKPR catches him with a side air. Side air again, finishes it off, but PKPR is already in the red. I guess Stevenator is just trying to make sure that he can get to the losers semifinals. That's the best that I can understand right now. And in his opinion, this kind of paced sig fishing seems to be the most effective. There's a neutral sig, catches PKPR on the way down.
That's something that I love about Diana's signatures is the range on, especially her gun signatures, is absolutely absurd. So if you go for the signature and your opponent kind of spot dodges, you usually have some room between you and your opponent, so you're not going to get immediately punished. You can dodge, or you can jump out of it, or just move away.
Ooh.
Because of Diana's high dex. Ooh, chasing into the air. Nair recovery. Not hitting.
Is gun dare into gravity cancel downlight? Not true, but PKPR gets the recovery to finish that off.
I'm not sure if it's true or not. They maybe because they changed it a little bit.
That's true. They changed how dare works, or downlight works. Excuse me. Interesting. Either way, Stevenator gets a dare onto PKPR, and PKPR in the red. Stevenator fishing for both sigs this time. Wants to get that down sig or the side sig or the neutral sig or basically any sig. Ooh, but PKPR catches Stevenator, trying to juggle him into the sky, but can't get the finishing blow. Sig charged up, and Stevenator gets a down
punish
sig.
from Stevenator.
Player 1 wins.
That neutral sig from Thatch. I personally hardly ever use it just because it puts you in such a vulnerable position. And Stevenator absolutely capitalized on it. Didn't even go for a side light or anything like that. He was ready to finish it with a signature right then and right there.
Absolutely. PKPR threw it out, wanted to punish a dodge in from Stevenator. Stevenator went aggressive. PKPR already had the side sig ready, but unfortunately Stevenator wasn't as aggressive as PKPR was expecting. He charged up the side sig and knew it was over, so he held it, and Stevenator got the down sig to punish and finish off that stock for PKPR. But here we are, game 2, and Stevenator is sticking with his Diana.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
Stevenator has the guns. PKPR has guns of his own. Both of them throwing out gun moves, but no real strings so far. They're both just moving around each other. Stevenator finally getting a downlight into a gravity cancel, or is dare into a gravity cancel downlight. Neutral sig catches PKPR, and PKPR is now unarmed. Side sig doesn't connect. PKPR dodges and gets a neutral light, but Stevenator immediately spot dodge. Side sig doesn't connect. PKPR not able to punish with a recovery. PKPR fishing for that recovery. Stevenator gets a nair, and that'll finish it off. Side air from PKPR wants to get this stock off of Stevenator ASAP. But Stevenator is going to just control this slight corner of space with his guns. Doesn't matter. Throws away the guns. Tries to get a ground pound. And PKPR is going to just stick on that wall. Side sig doesn't connect. And PKPR finally comes up. Side air catches. PKPR can't get a hit.
Turn around and dare. Stevenator using those stairs, those falling stairs. Definitely initiating with those stairs.
Ooh, gravity cancel downlight almost works out for PKPR. But unfortunately, he drops it, and Stevenator is going to survive for a little bit longer. PKPR is getting into the yellow. Stevenator gets a nair. That's it. Neutral sig doesn't connect for Stevenator, and PKPR knocks him away with that spike ball, but Stevenator is going to survive. Dodge around and gets caught by the recovery from PKPR, and that finishes. That is how much damage Stevenator had on top of him. Spike ball not going to connect. Bomb bounced down. Stevenator not able to connect with these weapon tosses. Neutral sig doesn't connect. There's a dare. Can't get the gravity cancel down sig. PKPR and Stevenator. This is a very paced game. It is about 3 minutes in, and only one stock has been taken on each side. Down sig connects.
That's gonna be another one.
That'll finish it off.
Oh, those double dares.
Bow dare. Can't get the ball up. There's a side light. Tries to get a chase dodge side sig, but PKPR gets up.
PKPR definitely weighing all of his approach options.
Ooh, there's the side light.
Gets that side sig.
Side light into a chase dodge side sig. Takes out PKPR. And Stevenator will be moving on. Let's go ahead and go to the analyst before we see Stevenator versus Egg Soup.
fool me once, fool me twice. He gets that down light into momentum dodge side sig, which was just an amazing finish off of that set. And it's very, very refreshing to see someone play Diana in this tournament. Stevenator has obviously been practicing those signatures. They totally threw him off, and you know, it's really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I was really looking forward to when the match started and Stevenator locked in Diana. Because PKPR, I know we've talked about this in the past several weeks, just watching him play, he has this really nice ebb and flow style. You know, he'll kind of like, you know, roll around the stage until you get out of position, and then he goes in hard, and he stays in. And I mean, he just pressures fantastic strings into secure kills. Now, Stevenator kind of knows this. I think everyone's kind of been seeing PKPR play. They know his tendencies. We saw him bust out that gravity cancel down light in midair that he's very known for. And Diana's signatures work really well against that kind of style, because where PKPR likes to kind of dance around during the more passive phase of his play before going into the aggression, that's exactly where those Diana sigs reach. And we saw Stevenator capitalize on the side sig from the guns, fantastic usage, and a couple really great hits and a kill from that neutral sig with the guns. And I think that was just really what threw PKPR off, and Stevenator kind of had the read on him there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing that PKPR really does is punish aggressive playstyles by throwing out these signatures that players will run into. Stevenator knew this, and so basically turned around his playstyle. He went, I'm not going to go super aggro on you. I'm going to come in and basically, you know, be more passive. Do a few sidelights, do a few signatures, wait for you to, you know, stop trying to wait for my approach. And of course, that definitely worked out for Stevenator. He made great use of side sigs. He made great use of all sorts of stuff. And without a doubt, Stevenator played fantastically. And now he's going to go up against his clanmate, Egg Soup, who we've seen so far. It's going to be very exciting to see what happens here. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Designated Asian and Sparky.
Alrighty, it looks like we are going to move straight into Stevenator versus Egg Soup. This is a losers semifinals. As you mentioned earlier, it is going to be a best of 3.
Yes, it is going to be a best of 3. It is Egg Soup versus Stevenator. Boo versus Boo. Let's go ahead and give them the A-OK, because there's not a lot to say about these guys. Two insane players, but Stevenator's sticking with this Diana. Egg Soup on the other side is going to be going with his tried and true Hattori.
Stevenator's sticking with that Diana. It proved successful for him last game. I don't know if all of that signature fishing is gonna work against Egg. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see it as much against Egg, or if we did see it, if he was punished severely for it.
Egg Soup has the sword, Stevenator has the bow, and I want to say that Egg Soup is gonna be ready for these plays. You see it right there. Stevenator got the side light, and he knows Egg Soup knew that Stevenator likes to do that chase dodge side sig, and Egg Soup spot dodged it. But that is gonna be a tool for Stevenator. He can bait that spot dodge out and punish hard. There's a down sig for Egg Soup,
big down sig,
and the recovery
oh,
chases into the corner.
Corner.
Egg Soup not able to get the neutral light. Stevenator using those iframes. Side light for Egg. Tries to get a nair off the follow-up.
Seeing Stevenator play very, very carefully. Using all of his jumps, utilizing that fastball.
Egg didn't punish. He didn't punish the sig charge.
Because Stevenator was looking the other way.
I know. Egg Soup had a huge punish opportunity, but instead decides to throw his sword in the sky.
Maybe he was just caught off guard.
The mind games are all I can say right now. Neutral Sig doesn't connect for Stevenator. Egg Soup goes below, gets 2 recoveries to send Steve into the sky, but Steve's gonna make it down and is fishing for dares and Neutral Sig. Neutral Sig doesn't connect. Egg gips under and gets a Sare.
Egg is knocking Steve all over this stage right now.
Ground pound. Egg looking for the ground pound, but he doesn't see the opportunity. There's a down heavy as Steve comes up. Down Sig connects for Stevenator and takes off that stock for Egg Soup.
We're seeing Egg with a full stock ahead right now.
Weapon toss into a Neutralite. Pick up Neutralite. That is some crocky stuff right there. Ground pound connects.
Gosh, we're seeing Egg take Steve further and further into the red.
Stevenator catches him with a down sig and that almost kills. Egg Soup is in the red and Stevenator has yet to be taken down. Grab out.
Down sig. See, there you go. You give Egg even a little bit of room and he will punish you until you are dead.
Neutral Sig from Stevenator doesn't connect. Side Sig catches Egg Soup. Egg Soup dodging around. Can't get the weapon toss. Can't get the ground pound. Egg Soup committing hard. And that is going to be his death. And that's what I'm saying. Egg Soup.
Himself.
He gets big plays, but he also gimps himself a lot of times if you're able to avoid it.
High risk, high reward is the name of Egg's game.
Neutral air. Egg Soup can't get this hit. Oh! So close.
All of a sudden, Egg is falling for all of Stevenator's tricks right now.
Side air connects, but Stevenator's not going to go down just yet. Spear toss. Sare not going to connect. Egg Soup not able to get the ground pound. The ground pound for Stevenator.
Oh my gosh!
Was that a reverse 3 stock?
I don't think it was a reverse 3.
If not, it was very close to a reverse 3 stock. Stevenator just ended up he played the marathon right there.
Crocky just said, "How did Steve win?" And that I think is on everybody's mind
exactly
right now.
But Steve he's gonna switch it up. He won with Diana and says, "All right, I'm done. I'm gonna go play mode right now." Interesting decision from Stevenator. We'll see how this shakes out. But Egg Soup, he was in the driver's seat for so long, but then like at the end of it, just kind of got whittled down by the commanding gunplay from Stevenator.
But the interesting thing is that it was the same gunplay that Stevenator was doing before. It was fishing for signatures. It was trying to hit double dares. It was the same thing that Egg was very well responding to. But then all of a sudden, just he didn't know what to do anymore.
2, 1, brawl.
I don't know. I really that was interesting. It wasn't like an explosive third stock from Stevenator, you know? It was just Egg Soup Z's himself and Egg Soup just falling for all sorts of Stevenator stuff. The down sig connects on Egg Soup. Egg Soup tries to get a gravity cancel side sig, but it's not gonna work out. Down sig connects again for Steve.
Another down sig.
What?
Stevenator uses down signature more than I see anyone else use down signature on Bodvar's hammer.
What did Steve hit besides 2 down sigs?
I think he probably did some sword stuff.
Right now, Egg Soup is just on the receiving end of a booty whooping. Spear toss connects, and he hasn't been able to finish off this stock from Steve. He's charging up the throw, can't get the dare hit, and the recovery will finish it off, but Egg Soup in the yellow. Dodging around. Side air from Egg Soup, side light from Egg Soup. Down sig doesn't connect for Stevenator this time, and I think Egg Soup's going to try to stay a little bit high to avoid any future down sigs, but stomp into a side air from Stevenator.
Trying to read the bear. Egg patiently waiting. Steve looking for another one. Egg is gonna snare Stevenator to death off the stage.
The Sayers from Egg Soup, but Egg Soup is in the red.
We aren't allowed to have Lance triple Sayer, but Sword triple Sayer is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Egg Soup goes into the shenanigans behind Stevenator and is able to rack up quite a bit of damage. Oh, the scoop from Stevenator finishes it off. Neutral light from Stevenator. Egg Soup has the spear, but Stevenator with that weapon toss into the pickup neutral light. Health basically even right now. Neutral light for Egg Soup, not able to follow up. Side sig connects, and Stevenator takes down Egg Soup 2-0.
Started that train rolling in those like last 3 attacks. Just started that train rolling with a whiffed neutral light, followed by a side light, followed by a side sig, and Egg just had no time to respond or make a decision before Stevenator was already in his grill.
Steve just coming out swinging. He does not like the fact that he's in loser's bracket, apparently. But with that, we're going to go over to the analysts to see what they have to say about that short 2 matches.
And Stevenator with that commanding win. I think we had a little bit of doubt, considering how well Egg Soup was playing throughout this tournament. But wow, Stevenator really picked up the ball in both matches.
Yeah, very impressive. I know he was playing on the back foot there for quite a while in that first match. Again, he said Diana, not such a great pick in that particular matchup against that player, perhaps. He did get punished for a number of his sigs, just kind of whiffing them, you know, trying to go for reads that he didn't really have. And Egg punished some of them. Didn't really punish as many as hard as he could have. And that kind of left the door open a little bit for Steve to slowly build the damage back up during that last stock, and then just the tense edgeguard scenario that happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was very interesting seeing Steve pick Diana again for that first match, because I think the way we talked about it, Diana was very much a, well, I don't want to call it an anti-PKPR tool, because it's more than that. But it was definitely something that he used for that pick against PKPR. And using it against Egg, well, you know, it wasn't disastrous. He was definitely struggling a lot right at the beginning until he sort of realized he has to be more conservative than he usually is against Egg Soup. You know, he basically spaced himself out more and, you know, used SIGs as much as he could, because that's where his strength was with Diana. And up until the very end, where he finally got that kill and went, okay, that was fun, but I need to switch back to Bodvar, because that's how I'm comfortable playing against Egg Soup. And of course, we saw in that second match, he played really well with Bodvar.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think he did benefit a lot from the first match as Diana, because there were a few key instances where you could tell it was information gathering. Like early on, he would do that bow side light, dodge forward with that momentum dodge, and then just wait. He didn't go for anything. He wanted to see how Egg would react.
Yeah.
And he did that a few times throughout that match, and he got a really good sense of how Egg would respond. Egg did switch it up a couple times, but he got a feel for when he retaliates with dodges, some gravity cancel things to try and interrupt the aggression that Steve was putting on. And that's where we saw Steve get a lot of mileage from, like, those hammer down signatures, just catching the ends of Egg Soup's dodges. And that's what led to that early lead in the second match. And again, we saw a little bit more of that start peaking out towards the end, where Egg was just interrupting a lot with the spear neutral lights, gravity cancel into the spear neutral light, because that puts it still as an insanely fast move. Far reaching, will generally beat out most aggressive options of pursuit from there. But at that point, Steve didn't really care so much. He was more than happy with that lead to just trade back and forth until it ended the match in his favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, well done to Egg Soup. He played a very mean tournament, but Steve is going to move on up. And absolutely, what we're going to see now is this lovely Vex versus Vex Winners and LDZ versus Crocky. It'll be very exciting to see how this comes along. So we're going to hand it back to Designated Asian and Sparky.
All right, this is a Vex grudge match right here, as Creed so lovingly just put it. And we're in the winners bracket right now.
Yeah, this is the winners finals. This is a best of 5 set. There's going to be Crocky versus LDZ, and Crocky, not playing around, is going to switch to Orion. He's been playing all sorts of characters, but one thing has been true about all of them: Spear.
This is this is the first week that we haven't had any Boom members in
the winners finals.
In the winners semifinals.
To that point, this is the first week that Pugsy hasn't played.
Yeah, that is partially due to the fact that Pugsy hasn't played this week and EXO didn't play this week. But we still did have, we had Egg.
We had Egg, Steve, and Magmabob, and all three of them got knocked into losers bracket.
And don't forget about Tybo.
Oh yeah, and Tybo. And I believe, I'll have to check the bracket, but I believe they got knocked in by these two guys, LDZ and Crocky.
Tybo got knocked in by LDZ. Egg Soup got knocked in by Crocky. And
Steve got knocked in by Crocky. Magma got knocked in by LDZ. So Vex is turning up hard with this Crocky and LDZ combination. And it's going to be interesting to see them in the crew battle, but it's also going to be interesting to see if they can make it to the Invitational coming up next week. But right now, we are ready. This is winners finals, LDZ versus Crocky.
This is winners semis.
The AOK, and this is winners finals.
It says semis.
That is incorrect. That's the semifinals of the tournament. The one on the far right is grand finals. This is winners finals.
I just shouldn't listen to Challenge. I should listen to you and not Challenge. That's my fault. What?
Was that? Is that like the Vex handshake right there?
I guess they must have planned to do that.
That's the knuckle touch for Vex. But right now LDZ with these Katars trying to get onto Crocky. Crocky threw away his spear. Has a lance pickup, gets a neutral light, tries to chase dodge into an air. Chase dodge into an air again, but not able to connect with either of those. Side light into a neutral light from LDZ. Reads the dodge down, gets a side sig and a side air. Can he punish the recovery? Crocky running out of options, but LDZ not able to keep him off the map, and Crocky is going to get his jumps back.
LDZ has basically evened this up and has now put it into his favor with that down signature.
Crocky has a lance, backs up, picks up the spear, gets a down light into a side air. Ground pound connects, and LDZ is taken down. First stock going the way of Crocky. Down light, side air from Crocky. Wants to keep LDZ off that weapon and gets a neutral light to punish the pickup. Spear toss doesn't connect for LDZ, and Crocky is holding on to this first stock for dear life. Side air is not going to connect. LDZ is trying to get on top of Crocky. Down sig doesn't connect. Crocky dodging around, gets caught by the recovery, and LDZ takes it down. He's only in the yellow, but is 8 defense yellow. Neutral airs from LDZ, but Crocky with these neutral lights just keep LDZ at bay. He's able to convert so much off of each of these neutral lights. Throws the lance up, doesn't actually want it. Slide charge down sig doesn't connect. Gravity cancel neutral sig.
The neutral sig. Is that the first non-down sig we've seen?
I believe so. That specifically for Spear.
Yeah, he did do a lance neutral sig that I think didn't fully come out.
Yeah,
it was interrupted. But other than that, it's been a down sig game, and finally, when he pulled out that neutral sig, maybe LDZ just wasn't ready for it. I certainly wasn't.
LDZ's been keeping Crocky in the sky with those nairs, has been able to rack up quite a bit of damage, juggling him around. But now that Crocky's got this lance, he's going to try to keep LDZ at bay, but he's going to want to throw it away immediately. Throws it up, picks up a lance instead. Slide charge down sig doesn't connect. And LDZ not able to punish the recovery. There's the spear. And now LDZ's got to be careful. Side sig doesn't connect, but he is able to punish the neutral light from Crocky.
I'm surprised because there was a significant amount of space between when Crocky dodged through and when he pulled out that neutral light. Maybe he had a misinput on his end. I'm surprised that neutral light went the wrong way. Maybe he was just reading hard.
That was a good
LDZ.
punish from LDZ. Gravity cancel down sig from Crocky doesn't connect, and LDZ gets the side sig, but LDZ is already in the orange.
Another downlight Sarah from Crocky. We're gonna see a ground pound? Nope. It was a recovery.
It looks like neither of them really wants to stay on these ledges. Instead, it's been a fight for the ground. LDZ's burning a lot, but gets to the wall with the help of that side air. And is gonna hold on for dear life. Side sig not gonna connect. Crocky's looking for his spear. He's got multiple options. Picks it up. Down light. Side air. LDZ in trouble. Ground pound not gonna connect, but Crocky has another.
There it is. Crocky is gonna take game one. Sitting pretty in the yellow with that strong Orion against LDZ's very much main Queen Eye.
Yeah, first stock going the way of Crocky. Or first match going the way of Crocky. And he's going to be sticking with this Orion. I'm not sure what LDZ can do to switch it up. Maybe King's Pass? We saw how effective it was against the Edgeguard God Magma Bob.
I don't know, because Crocky has been doing work with those spear ground pounds.
That's true. That is true, those spear ground pounds. But when it comes to King's Pass and those shenanigans, it'll only bounce you horizontally primarily. So he'll just bounce in between those two platforms, and it might not be as bad, but it looks like he wants to go to Twilight instead. LDZ has the Katars, Crocky has the spear. Downlight side air from Crocky.
I think more than anything, LDZ just needs to not get hit by those downlight Sarah combos.
Down sig from Crocky is going to send LDZ backwards, and LDZ's just been getting caught by everything. Side sig from Crocky. Side sig from Crocky.
I never thought I'd be more excited to see side sigs.
And the first stock is going the way of Crocky in commanding fashion. Crocky is only in the yellow. Weapon toss into a neutral light, into a pickup neutral sig from Crocky. Switches it up, spear neutral light.
Crocky varying up his signature game.
Bomb
Not
tosses.
letting LDZ get comfortable.
Neutral light's thrown out on both sides. No connections. Oh, weapon toss is going to interrupt that side sig.
We are seeing a spacing game right now between these two members of Vex.
A lot more weapon tosses from LDZ. He's got the guitars, gets a nice nair on the Crocky, but he's got to finish off this stock without taking too much more damage. Not able to punish the downlights. Side air connects. He's gonna need more. Crocky gets back and has all of his jumps. Neutral air. Recovery connects, but the weapon toss. The weapon toss from Crocky stopping the force.
That might have saved Crocky's life right there. I don't know. He is Orion, and Orion is a devilishly tanky character.
6 defense, 6 dex, 6 move speed. Neutral sig connects for LDZ. He's in the
We
orange.
see a taunt from LDZ.
He's got to be happy. He's able to finally take off that stock from Crocky, but he's going to need to do a lot more than that. And Crocky with that bomb. Ooh, a little bit behind LDZ. Down sig doesn't connect for Crocky. Side sig read not going to work out this time. Side sig from Crocky doesn't connect. LDZ throws out the neutral sig and Crocky's underneath with that recovery. LDZ's starting to throw out these spot dodges.
Ooh, he is caught.
Ooh,
Crocky out of his
down
downlights 3 times in a row with nairs.
Crocky chases down with that
Crocky
slide
going
charge
deep.
down sig, but LDZ not able to punish.
LDZ was looking for the side air there. That would have absolutely killed Crocky.
I think a little bit of that was just respect for the gravity cancel neutral sig. LDZ didn't want to overcommit and get caught out by a gravity cancel neutral sig from Crocky. So instead they're gonna fight it back out on this platform. Side air connects. Crocky unarmed. Gets past the spike ball, but not able to get the neutral light into the recovery.
LDZ doing an excellent job of evening this up. Still maintaining his life. Not able to make it back.
Jumps.
See if he can get a quick turnaround and keep it even.
Down Sig not going to connect for LDZ. If he can get a Sig, it might be enough to spell death for Crocky. But right now, Crocky with that spear is just so controlling. Recovery connects. And stocks are evened up. LDZ juggling these Katars. Wants to keep weapons out of Crocky's hands, but he's going to keep that on the board as a trap?
Yep, absolutely. He is waiting for Crocky to come in and get that, and he is just going to zone him out, because playing unarmed into Katars, it takes a, very brave person to do that.
But LDZ
Brave or
wasn't,
stupid.
he wasn't able to convert off of that weapon advantage. Crocky picked up the spear and has been in control.
Oh!
Down Sig connects. LDZ gets to the outside. He's on the island. Mine in place. But LDZ's so deep in the red and Crocky is basically untouched.
Crocky backing up. Keeping his playstyle very controlled right now. He's not throwing out near as many attacks, but he is getting bopped by neutral air after neutral air after side air.
Side airs from
Side
LDZ.
air, LDZ.
The Gibbs, no, not able to finish it off. Ground pounds onto the platform, and the down
and all
Sig.
it takes is that down Sig.
The down Sig comes out from Crocky to finish it off. LDZ was he was in position. He had the Gimp in his hands.
Crocky didn't have a dodge because he dodged back into that wall. That I don't know if it would have killed, but oof, that has to be heartbreaking for LDZ right now.
That is brutal. LDZ had what very easily could have been the kill, but Crocky gets to the platform, gets the down Sig off, and LDZ is sent flying, and we are here in round 3 of this winners finals. LDZ has one last chance before he gets knocked down to the losers bracket.
Now, if he gets knocked down to the losers bracket, he will be facing Stevenator. Has he faced Stevenator yet? No, he has not faced Stevenator this tournament yet.
Downlight side air from LDZ. Crocky has the lance, goes for the ground pound onto Crocky. Gets the recovery hit. Neutral Sig not going to connect for LDZ, but LDZ is doing a lot better this game.
Recovery's still not enough to kill Crocky. That Orion defense is so strong, it's there when you need it. Crocky spacing out with those neutral lights.
Side air from LDZ. Gets a neutral light, can't get the recovery follow-up. They're both so deep in the red, and the unarmed side air will finish it off.
From the middle of the stage is enough to take out Crocky.
Crocky with a neutral light. Chase dodge down Sig. And LDZ almost getting taken down, but just the extended horizontal kill boxes of Blackguard Keep is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Ground pound doesn't connect. LDZ is going to make it to the soft platform and is waiting for this mine to go away.
I don't blame him. He does not want to get side-aired into that mine.
Crocky tries to read the dodge in from LDZ. LDZ not able to punish these ground pounds or these recoveries. Neutral air. Recovery, but not able to get the side air. Oh no!
Oh, LDZ committing just a frog's hair too hard. I swear he was so close. Almost could have gotten those fingertips on that wall to reset his jumps.
He was so close.
He is
I
in
think
Crocky
he thought
into
he
the
touched
orange
it.
now.
I think he thought he touched the wall. But right now, yeah, like you said, Crocky in the orange. LDZ has a spear, but wants those Katars. He's caught by the neutral light. Weapon toss from Crocky. LDZ not able to get the stairs. LDZ is jumping around, trying to find the approach. Gravity cancel side sig doesn't connect. Side air.
Rocky is spending some time with that lance, even though there are weapons on the board. He's not going for any real strings with the lance right now. It's mostly throws, or we saw him hit a down air, but then back up.
Absolutely. He just wants whatever little bits of damage he can get. But we all know he is very much looking for that spear. Downlight side air again from Crocky.
Back to back.
Neutral air. Can he get the recovery? No, LDZ's able to dodge under. Ooh, gets the neutral light to stop the down sig. But Crocky knows that LDZ's getting close to kill range. Recovery connects and sends LDZ into the sky. LDZ has the bomb, not able to hit Crocky. And Crocky gets neutral light into the pickup. Neutral light. Side sig doesn't connect. Crocky dodges into the neutral light, but Crocky gets the recovery. Neutral air from LDZ. Can't finish this stock. Oh, has to use another recovery to get outside of that down sig. But LDZ, once again, there's the save.
Oh, the big side air sending Crocky down below. LDZ in the yellow, which for Queen Nai is not a problem at all at this point. He is again using that weapon as a trap for Crocky.
Ooh, Crocky jumps onto
okay.
the mine.
All right.
Neutral light, chase dodge, downlight, side air, and Crocky finishes it with a ground pound.
Wow.
Quick, clean. That is the Crocky standard. Neutral light, chase dodge, downlight. So straightforward for Crocky. It's just chipping away at all of his opponents, and we're going to see what Creed and TWK have to say about that before we go down to the losers bracket to see LDZ versus Stevenator.
That really dominating 3-0 set. Well done by Crocky.
Yeah, very nice. I don't know, story of that set, he opened up the rest of the toolkit. We saw him primarily use that down signature from Orion and the spear. He started extending to the other signatures, and I really like the way that he went about it. In that first match, he kind of, kept threatening with that down signature, get LDZ used to that, used to the range, kind of feeling, okay, maybe I should fade just a little bit to the side as I'm coming down on top of him, and boom, that's when he starts breaking out the side signatures. And he got some really significant hits and kills off of
just
those
some
scenarios.
really powerful play as far as side sigs go, and really all the signatures. He was using the Lance neutral signature a couple times. I saw a Lance down signature slide charge. Not all of those hit and not all of those connected, but just the pressure, because if you don't use the full move set and the full range of a certain character, your play becomes stale and bland and predictable. And you definitely want to avoid that against experienced players who say, hey, this guy has like 5 options from this point, as opposed to like 8 if you add the extra signatures. And that is it's just an enormous difference, because reading someone who has a lot fewer move options, it's much easier. And so seeing Crocky evolve his play within the past few matches and add more signatures to his repertoire is really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, LDZ, phenomenal player. We've seen him do amazing things in many tournaments the past several weeks. And these matches were a lot closer than the 3-0 set would lead you to believe. I mean, I know we were talking about how every single time they were both going so deeply into the red for every single stock. And just their ability to recover and just kind of deny any real good options to their opponent. I don't know, both of them just ended up living a lot longer than you would normally expect.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there were no super low white health gimps like we saw in some of the earlier sets. Nothing of that sort. It was just, let's see who can get a bunch of damage and, get that final kill, who can land a little bit of hit. And, in every single set, LDZ was right neck and neck with Crocky. Crocky just always got the final hit. And with that, we're going to go down into losers with LDZ versus Stevenator. I'm very excited to see how exactly this goes, whether Stevenator is going to go with the Bodvar pick or whether he's going to go back to Diana. But for that, we're going to go back to Designated Asian and Sparky.
Alrighty, looks like we are coming into the game right here. We are ready for Stevenator versus LDZ. Stevenator already hovering on the Diana. I'm assuming LDZ is going to stick with Queen Eye.
Yeah, I think so. The only other option for LDZ is Ember. I think we've seen him pull out. But Stevenator...
I don't remember him having success with it, but I could be completely wrong.
I mean, it's Katars. At the end of the day, it is just a faster Katars, but a less tanky Katars. So we'll see how that works out for LDZ. But right now, I think LDZ is thinking really hard about something. Oh, it looks like he's hovering on that Ember.
He heard you.
We're going to go ahead and give them the A-OK. We're going to see LDZ versus Stevenator. Stevenator is going to be sticking with that Diana. LDZ, Queen Eye.
It was all a bait.
It's going to be the Queen Eye. And here we go. Stevenator versus LDZ. This is a best of 5 set of the losers finals. Winner of this goes on to fight Crocky, who has taken both of these people down and knocked them into the losers bracket rather commandingly. So we'll see how well they're able to get through that. Stevenator has yet to pick up a weapon. LDZ has those guitars. Stevenator picks up the guns. He's trying to catch LDZ with the dares or the nares, but LDZ has been able to get through. Neutral light catches, but LDZ immediately threw the guitars to interrupt. Neutral sig doesn't connect. Dares is not going to work out for Stevenator. Stevenator wants to play this gun spacing game. Side sig sends Stevenator off the map. Recovery? No, gravity cancel neutral sig.
Stevenator is going to need those signatures this game. I don't think we've really seen him kill with many recoveries from the guns, and other than that, it's going to be tough to kill with Diana, especially onto a Queen Eye.
Stevenator doesn't have
Stevenator
the jumps.
Unable to make it back.
LDZ with that quick Sair takes off the first stock of Stevenator, and Stevenator has LDZ in the orange, but it's going to take a lot more to kill off the Queen Eye of LDZ. Down sig might be it.
There's the signature.
In position, takes it down without taking any damage, and Stevenator has evened it up.
Stevenator trying to space out with those guns while moving backward, throwing dares and sairs.
Stevenator is sticking to this fadeaway gun style. Side sig, LDZ was ready, spot dodged it. Neutral sig not gonna connect, goes to an immediate dare, but LDZ able to punish. Spot dodges the side sig again. LDZ seems to understand exactly what Stevenator's doing.
Yep, he is not falling for those signatures.
Spot dodges
There's
the
a
neutral
Sair
sig.
Through the platform. Steve hitting his own Sair.
Side sig!
The gravity cancel side sig.
Stevenator
Immediately getting rid of that mine.
He threw the bow before the mine, put the mine down, and the bow gets launched. I don't know what kind of trap play that was, but it was interesting. Stevenator trying to get a sig. Wants to get that gravity cancel. If he can get a down sig here, there's
another down sig.
Stevenator looks like he's going to stick with his bow and leave that weapon as a trap, but not able to punish the pickup. Side light, chase dodge, weapon toss, but doesn't work out for Stevenator. Neutral air from Stevenator. Side light goes for the chase dodge, down light, maybe.
Oh, that might, yes, it does kill. The neutral signature gravity canceled from LDZ is enough to kill Stevenator when he is in the orange.
That was a neutral sig about midway up the map, and that sent Stevenator flying. That was an interesting option from Stevenator. He went for the side light, tried to do a chase dodge down light to read a back dodge from LDZ, but it didn't work out in his favor. And instead, LDZ was able to get off that gravity cancel neutral sig and send Steven in the sky. And he's going to be switching it up to Bodvar.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Goes for the slide charge, neutral heavy. Or the sliding neutral heavy, not really slide charge. Weapon toss into a neutral light. Weapon toss can't get the neutral air. LDZ spot dodged it. Gets the weapon toss into a recovery into a nair.
LDZ putting a hurting on Steve right now.
Another weapon toss into a neutral light from LDZ. Stevenator currently unarmed. LDZ unarmed as well. Side light from Stevenator is going to keep LDZ off that weapon. Oh, he went for a dare, but LDZ was ready with a nair of his own. Gets a weapon toss into a recovery. One in the gravity cancel. Neutral heavy at the top of the map, but Stevenator got past it. Side air.
Might be enough to kill. He's going to use
Ground
his
pound.
dodge. And LDZ is going to see that he used his dodge and go straight down onto that hammer with that ground pound.
Stevenator burned all his options, and LDZ very intelligently gets the ground pound off onto Stevenator and finishes it off. And LDZ's only in the orange. Side sig charged up. LDZ with a side light into a neutral light punish, but the read gets the side sig. If you are against LDZ and he neutral lights you, don't dodge down because he will side sig. That is at least the 4th time that I've seen him do it.
Steve looking for the neutral sig read, backs up, hits the downlight combo.
Has LDZ in the red, but Stevenator already in the orange. Why?
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't.
What was that?
I'm not sure.
What was that?
I'm not. Hello?
I'm tilted from seeing that. Why would you do that?
That is going to be the momentum shift that is going to play heck for Steve right now. Even if LDZ dies right here.
Stevenator takes himself down, but he got the stock off of LDZ, I guess. But he's in the orange, is red, able to stop the neutral sig, but I don't know what weird mind game Stevenator's doing. Weapon toss into a side light. And the side air from LDZ.
The end of that game for Steve.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't. You know.
Is he tilted?
LDZ.
Is he tilted?
I mean, I would be.
LDZ switching to Thatch. LDZ does not care.
I don't know anymore.
He doesn't care. What is this game?
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Steve minded himself. LDZ switching to Thatch.
What is this game?
They know this is week 4, right?
This is the last chance for points. Stevenator's seeing himself. LDZ's playing Thatch, and Stevenator's taking full advantage of it, but not able to finish that off with that Gimp. If LDZ wins right now, even though Stevenator will be out, I think Stevenator will be permanently tilted.
Yep.
Neutral sig not able to get in. LDZ dodges through it. Side sig not able to connect. Neutral air is going to send LDZ into the sky.
Stevenator has not had good luck with those neutral sig reads today. Especially against LDZ. I think he's maybe hit 1.
Down air from Stevenator. Down sig connects.
Oh, that's going to barely catch the top of Thatch's head and send him down below.
Side light from Stevenator. Neutral light catches LDZ. Neutral light again from LDZ. And the scoop, the reverse scoop from Stevenator is going to knock LDZ around, but it's still not enough. Stevenator charges up the side sig. LDZ gets the side air with the guns. Sticking with these guns. Can't finish off the stock from Stevenator yet. Oh, the recovery.
There's the recovery pickup.
He picks it up on the ground. LDZ now has the sword. Is only in the yellow. Stevenator gets a nice neutral air, but LDZ is looking to gimp Stevenator. Drops the downlight string. Side air from LDZ. Side air from Stevenator. LDZ's been able to take Stevenator into the orange already, and the scoop from Stevenator is not enough. Side sig connects.
That's side sig. I liked LDZ's positioning there. He was like right in the top right corner of Steve, so he couldn't really do anything unless he was gonna put into jeopardy his ability to get back on the wall. He wasn't allowing for a dare. He wasn't allowing for a recovery, and it was only right as he dipped down below him that Stevenator was able to capitalize with a dare.
Side airs from LDZ, and LDZ's been positioning very well, like you were saying. Neutral sig not going to connect. Stevenator's using these weapon tosses to get onto LDZ. Stomp into a side air from Stevenator.
When you're behind and your opponent is getting those, like, essentially free damage on you while you're trying to catch up and take out his stock, that's just not the character that you want to play. A 3 defense character, you are going to get more and more and more behind. As we see LDZ right now in the orange. That Sarah is finally going to take out Stevenator, but LDZ is in the orange.
Like you said, Stevenator is in control in the down sig.
That's going to take him out right there.
Player 1 wins.
But at the end of the day, that was kind of a gimme, right? Stevenator was supposed to win that. LDZ was playing Thatch. And we're seeing LDZ switch to Ember now.
I don't know why he's not going back to Queen Eye.
Just about the tilt? Is that what this is about? Or is LDZ like that's what I'm trying to grasp. Is LDZ playing with his food, or is Stevenator, or is he just like, I'm gonna play things and I'll win anyways?
I don't know why LDZ would do that. This is losers finals, so if he loses this game, he's out. This isn't like, oh, I'll dip into losers bracket and I have to face somebody free. It'll be a gimme. It'll essentially be a bye, and I'll just have to play a couple more matches. I'll get a couple more points. It'll be no problem. This is losers bracket. When you're out, you're out.
I mean, let's be real here. It's Steve. Steve is a person notorious for getting in his own head. Playing these mind games like LDZ is doing, LDZ's got to be playing the long game and trying to just tilt Steve for life. That's the only thing I can think of is LDZ is just BMing so hard with these character picks. But he's trying to tilt Steve for life.
Coming into this week, LDZ has 5.5 points. That puts him at 14th seed. He doesn't necessarily have that much room to goof around and play the long game. He needs to be careful.
He gets the Sarah onto Stevenator. How many points did Steve have coming into this?
Let's see. Steve had... Let me go back to the tab. Not very many, I can tell you that much. Stevenator had 2 points.
Stomp into a neutral sig from Steve. I mean, the fact that Steve got this far, he's going to be ending up with somewhere close to 8 or so points. A rough estimate. That might be enough to get him into the top 16, and that might be what LDZ is planning on. Is saying, hey, since we're both in this position,
LDZ just gives himself
the grands, but LDZ Z's himself, and Steve, he's gonna pop off a little bit. Give him that deal with it, taunt Stevenator. You know the position you're in, right? Now is not the time to pop off. Pop off after you killed LDZ on Queen Eye.
Steve is just building that lead. It is a full stock now against a 3 defense character.
Gravity cancel
That
neutral
must
stick
have
from
been-
LDZ didn't catch. But the recovery.
LDZ gonna taunt him back. I wish we had a better view of the camera up there to see how close that signature from Ember was.
Yeah. Stomp into a
And-
side air.
Is that gonna kill? I would be surprised if it didn't.
Got options. There's the ground pound.
And he's
That'll
dead.
finish it off. And I would expect a queen nine.
wins.
I would expect a queen nine, but that doesn't mean we'll get a queen nine. As far as we know, LDZ could just pull out Barraza and just be like, whatever. But no, we got a queen nine.
We're gonna get the queen nine.
We got the queen nine. LDZ, he says, I have 2 rounds to throw, and then I'll finish it off with queen nine in full confidence.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
Here we go. This is the last match of this best of 5 set. Winner of this goes on to fight Crocky and has to do a best of 5 and has to reset it and then take out Crocky again in a best of 5 if they want to win this tournament. Otherwise, they don't. Side airs from LDZ,
And see, now we're seeing work from LDZ.
yeah, it's just the control from LDZ. Stevenator goes hard, gets a recovery onto LDZ. That was an interesting option. Neutral light not going to connect. Dodges down, but the side sig doesn't connect for LDZ. Oh!
He's gonna turn around and hit that stair like it's the easiest thing of his life.
He saw it. Oh, spot
Oh,
dodges a mine. Don't
Never spot dodge a
spot
mine.
dodge a mine.
Please
Don't
don't
do it.
ever spot dodge a mine.
Never spot dodge a mine. It
I don't even
doesn't
care if it's
pass.
coming at you sideways. Never spot dodge a mine.
Stevenator charges with the weapon toss, dodges into the
Oh.
neutral sig. Almost dodges in to that down sig. Neutral airs. Weapon toss, picks up a hammer. Can't get the scoops. And gets a sidelight. He's fishing for this weapon toss. Steve wants these weapon tosses. Gets a spot dodge, but doesn't go for any sort of gravity cancel. Oh, the side air.
That
from
big
LBZ.
Sare.
Just, you can see how far it sent him from the other side of the map. Stevenator's got to be very careful about his positioning. If he gets too close to the edge.
LDZ Sare the wrong way. He's
Oh!
looking for a read, but he hits the side sig.
And LDZ is going to give the taunt.
He's sitting in the orange. That's not the worst place to be as Queen Nine right now.
Absolutely not. That is basically
Ooh.
half health for a Queen Nine.
Spot dodging that side sig, turning around for the punish.
Dare from Stevenator. Neutral light. Tries to get the dodge down read. Scoop from Steve is going to send LDZ into the sky, but he can't quite finish it off just yet. And LDZ makes it back and hits a Sare. Sare from Steve. Weapon
Ooh, that
toss hits.
hammer's gonna finish him off. He already used his dodge.
Steve in the orange.
We're not seeing a lot of dare or downlight from LDZ in with this guitar play. Dare was recently changed, and a lot of people did not like the way it was changed. Oh, that Sare is just gonna kill.
Player 2.
Okay. I was just gonna keep talking about what I was talking about because I didn't think that was gonna kill, but it's just gonna kill.
That's just going to kill. Let's talk about LDZ and Stevenator with the analysts right now.
Oh wow, what a set. I'm not sure if that should have actually ever gone to 5 matches.
Yeah, I mean, both of them kind of wanted to feel out some other characters. We saw Steve, trying to play that Diana. It was enough to hang with LDZ, but not enough for an advantage at any point. And then, I mean, once LDZ took that point for the entire set, he's up 2-0. He
Yeah.
starts bouncing around to these other characters. I don't know if he was just kind of messing around, trying to send a bit of a message.
Yeah. It's a question of maybe he was trying to, like, Duke said, trying to tilt Stevenator. It's hard to tell. But whatever the case, it was definitely a lot of character picking going on. Stevenator went with the Diana on the first match, trying to feel out, hey, LDZ has, a less than, his playstyle isn't as aggressive as someone like Egg Soup. So maybe I can get off with this Diana and, see what I can do. Didn't quite work out, so he went, okay, let's switch to Bodvar. Again, second match, not so well. Stevenator played fantastic matches all around, and it was close the entire time, both players. But Stevenator's Bodvar just couldn't quite match LDZ's Queen 9.
Yeah, and some key moments that kind of did it in for Stevenator. He overextended off the edge a little too much. And LDZ's just really, really good at turning around those forced edge guard situations. Like, I remember one time Steve got the, nice downlight into side air, going off the edge. He's already spent a couple of his jumps, and he goes for the gravity cancel side signature with sword. LDZ happy to just drop down a little bit and Qatar side air him right back. And there were several kills throughout this set that happened that same exact way, of Stevenator just overextending a bit with some signatures on reads that didn't really pan out, and LDZ just knowing how to turn it around immediately.
Yeah, definitely. And Stevenator, he's got this sort of momentum that he tries to build up, and LDZ definitely is really good at interrupting momentum for players. He's got these really hard hitting attacks. Queen Nai has high attack and high defense, and it's just really hard to gain some really strong sort of pickups on LDZ to try to change up the match, and it just didn't go in Stevenator's favor. So It looks like LDZ is gonna move up. We're gonna see him fight Crocky again. We'll see if his luck is any different this time. So I'm gonna hand it off to Designated Asian and Sparky.
All right, it looks like we are coming into winners. We're going to see this matchup of Crocky versus LDZ again. Let's see if LDZ can have a little bit better time against Crocky this time, because he did get 3-0'd last time.
Yeah, and Crocky is immediately locking in that Orion. We'll see if LDZ is able to get through the dominating spear game that Crocky has, or if Crocky's just going to control it. I don't know. Can LDZ maybe switch characters? Do you think Thatch will be what he needs, or Ember?
I don't know. I don't see him playing anybody better than Queen Nai, and against Crocky, maybe Ember's bow works, but I wouldn't put any money on that being the defining factor.
I don't know.
1,
I don't know what LDZ can do besides find a way through Crocky. Find a way to bait out the neutral light, bait out the downlight, and punish. So weapon toss into a neutral light from Crocky, neutral air from LDZ. Neutral airs from LDZ again. I think we're seeing a lot safer play from LDZ right now. Side light into a neutral light, can't get the recovery hit.
Ooh, LDZ throwing out those nairs.
Oh!
LDZ!
Gravity cancel side sig, and LDZ, you deserve that taunt.
That was awesome.
You deserve that taunt.
That's what he needs to do.
I wasn't expecting that. I'll be honest. I was drinking water and almost had to do a spit take because that came out of nowhere.
I'm gonna play really safe. Nah, just kidding. I'm gonna gravity cancel a side sig in the middle of the air out of nowhere. There is another down signature from Crocky. Ooh, that good Sarah under the stage.
Oh, and he doesn't have the jumps. He doesn't have the jumps. LDZ looking at the 3-stock.
The option is definitely possible at this point. Crocky going deep.
Slide charge down sig, but LDZ is gonna try to get up, but Crocky just has so much space control with that spear. Ooh, dodges.
Ooh, nice spot dodge.
But
I
not
didn't think he was gonna get it in time.
To follow up. Oh!
He waited for it, tried to punish, mistimed it.
He did. He spot dodged, and he had the opportunity. He had the aerial that down sig does not cover above, but he came in at the side.
Trading neutral lights back and forth. Crocky backing up. LDZ looking to use that weapon as a trap. Tries to go for the gravity cancel side sig. Misses it. Takes a downlight side air combo for his troubles.
There's the falling there onto the down sig. Side air from LDZ.
Another side air. He has a spear to throw. That is it for Crocky this
LDZ
game.
takes game 1
Player 2 wins.
in this best of 5 set. LDZ has has to win this best of 5 and then win after the reset in order to win the finals of this tournament. Otherwise, Crocky's going to be running away with it, and Crocky's sticking with his Orion.
If he keeps this up, that'll happen sooner rather than later. LDZ, a completely different Queen 9 than we saw in Crocky's and LDZ's previous set. Crocky was on his heels the entire game.
Yeah, I legitimately don't quite grasp what LDZ did differently. He just kind of had he was in the right position at the right time, is the best I can say. Is that he was able to punish these down 6 from Crocky.
It wasn't just luck, though, because he was in the right position at the right time fairly frequently.
Right, I think that's what I mean, though. I think LDZ is just, he's figured out how to position himself properly against Crocky. He knows when to be at the 45 when Crocky's not going to be looking for that down light. He knows when to be above him when Crocky's looking for the down sig. So I think... I don't...
Oh, trying to spot dodge a little bit too early. Gets hit with the down sig. Going for a neutral sig. Misses. Gets hit with a Sayer. We're seeing a down light missing from Crocky. Crocky is in the orange. LDZ hitting a side light, getting in there, sending Crocky behind.
And Crocky, he got to the edge.
This could be a huge gimp, though.
I mean, Crocky, regardless, Crocky's taking a lot of damage.
That's it for Crocky. LDZ in the yellow.
Crocky catches the mine, but LDZ's still throwing things. Oh, not able to pick up the guitars, but he doesn't care.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, Crocky almost dares into that mine. Playing a little dangerously here. Side light, not able to get the side air. Neutral sig catches LDZ. Oh! Weapon toss doesn't connect, and LDZ and Crocky are now even in stocks.
Was he expecting Crocky to go back to the wall to reset his jumps, or?
I think he was hoping that weapon toss was going to work for him.
Interrupting that down sig.
Neutral sig not able to connect for Crocky, and Crocky with that neutral light tries to chase dodge down light, but LDZ is getting out. Recovery, and LDZ is currently unarmed.
Oh, a charged up side sig still doesn't kill Queen 9.
LDZ
nice
gets
back
the bomb,
dodge.
dodges the ground pound, and is able to punish. Almost catches him with the bounce, and the ground pound from LDZ.
Sayer? No, I was looking for the nair.
Oh, walk up, bomb toss. Nobody expects you to do the obvious thing.
Crocky finding himself ahead. LDZ catching the mine.
Weapon toss, weapon toss. LDZ throws it in the mine.
The harpoon! The harpoon straight through the heart of Crocky.
I really wish I had a better white whale reference. LDZ versus Crocky. Stocks even up.
That's why I get mine in first.
Yeah.
Because then I can take the easy one.
All I had was a really bad like boat captain impersonation that I really didn't want to throw out just yet. Neutral airs from LDZ, not able to land on top of Crocky. There's one. Down sig not gonna connect. Side sig not able to punish. The recovery time on that down sig so short.
Oof. He thought he could come straight down on him and there'd be a little dead zone. There is not a dead zone.
Ground pound
the
on
ground
Crocky. No, not able to get the nairs and not able to finish that gimp off, and Crocky makes it back safely. Side sig from LDZ. Down sig. LDZ gets the spot.
There you go, LDZ. Tearing a little bit early. LDZ is ready for those down sigs right now.
Weapon tosses. Crocky not able to finish it off with a ground pound. Bomb toss. Ooh. Jumping around. He knows LDZ needs a weapon. Oh, if LDZ was able to place that mine down, that would have been fantastic for him. But Crocky gets the ground pound.
LDZ's staying
in a lot of trouble.
Nah, he's dead.
Doesn't have the
he's
jumps.
dead.
He doesn't.
Game 2 going the way of Crocky.
Wins.
I'd like to see Crocky start charging these down sigs. LDZ seems to have figured it out and is spot dodging above it. And I'd like to see Crocky start charging it. Is your game bugged?
No.
All I see is the Brawlhalla background.
No, Crocky just locked in Orion again.
All right. Give me a second to restart that. But yeah, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see Crocky start charging that down sig to kind of punish the spot dodge timing from LDZ.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would work out a lot in his favor, considering he seems to be favoring that down sig. Have they started yet?
Yes, the game just started.
All right, well, we are on Blackguard, and this is LDZ versus Crocky, Game 3 of the best of 5 set of the winners finals, or the grand finals of week 4. LDZ with the mine. That is a trade that you are willing to make when you have that 8 defense, and LDZ is keeping this pressure on top of Crocky. Gravity cancel, neutral sig. Crocky's not dead yet. Recovery from LDZ finishes it off, and LDZ not taking too much damage for it. Neutral sig from Crocky. He's gonna send LDZ down. Sidelight from LDZ. Chase. He does the sliding neutral sig, and the recovery is gonna send Crocky into the sky again.
LDZ is more than a stock ahead right now. That recovery still not gonna kill Crocky.
Down sig. There's a spot dodge. There's the above spot dodge, and he gets the Sarah to finish off Crocky. Ground pound from Crocky. Calls in a weapon, goes for the ground pound. Can't pick up the weapon in time, but doesn't matter. He's going for ground pounds. Neutral light into a recovery from LDZ. That is LDZ's mix-up. He gets the guitar neutral light, and he'll either go into a recovery or a side sig. And your best option is to back dodge from the look of it.
The 3-stock possibility is real right now.
Down sig.
LDZ is very red.
And
Crocky
Crocky
turns around with a side sig.
Crocky was just outside that down sig. LDZ
spaced
threw it
that
out,
perfectly.
and Crocky got the side sig to finish it off.
I don't like neutral sigs on the stage. I think there are better sigs that you can do, or just light attacks. I don't like Orion's spear neutral sig on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good on the edge.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On the stage, I'll agree with you. But on the edge, it's
It
still
is situational.
Oh!
Oh no, LDZ. He didn't think Crocky was gonna hold it that long. He should have done the safe move and done a down signature.
I think more so than just about like timing. Oh, LDZ falls to his death. Is his controller dying? What just happened?
I don't know, but he certainly is.
I think honestly, I think LDZ thought the hitbox was gonna connect. I think LDZ thought his side sig was gonna hit regardless, and it ended up not, and Crocky was able to get the hit. Ground pound from LDZ. He dodges out and goes for a weapon toss. And there is the ground pound from LDZ to finish it off. Game 3 going the way of LDZ.
There we go. Thank you, Crocky. There we go.
There's the Ada.
Let's see if you can take advantage of that dex difference without being too punished by the defense difference. I think his signature options are just gonna be better. I think his string options are gonna be better.
But his defense options are going to go down. Crocky's got this aggressive spear in his hands, but now it's thrown away, and he goes for the side heavy, and LDZ punishes with a neutral light. Neutral air from LDZ. I think the bigger thing working in Crocky's favor right now, aside from the fact that he's playing his main, is that all the timings, the positionings that LDZ has figured out for Orion, it's thrown out the window. Everything is different on these timings. LDZ dodging around, wants to shark a little bit, but instead goes back to the same side. Crocky gets the side heavy and is going to take the first stock. and high fives the sidekick immediately. Spike ball picked up. Sidelight from LDZ. Goes for the ground pound, but Crocky interrupts with that spear toss. Even though that ground pound wasn't going to go down the edge, still a good interrupt from that spear toss. LDZ dodging around. Crocky in deep red. Can LDZ finish off this stock? He's looking for it. Can't get the Sair. Recovery from Crocky sends LDZ into the sky. Neutral air, excuse me. Neutral light from LDZ, and that is a mix-up. Chase dodge into a recovery.
Orange, though. We saw Crocky going for the Nair recovery, which is technically true, but it is not easy to hit true.
LDZ in the red. I'm surprised that Crocky is playing safe against it, but he knows just how dominating LDZ can be when he wants to be. Gets a nice sidelight, not able to get the side air off the map. He hit his head!
Oh, no. LDZ!
He has his jumps, though.
He didn't touch. Okay.
What? LDZ has an infinite number of jumps. By a pixel was getting his jumps back on that very bottom corner of the map, and that's all he needed. He's already evened up the health, and Crocky's got to be a little bit salty about that. Recovery not going to connect on either side. LDZ,
yeah, can he get a Sair?
Gets a neutral air. LDZ, stop! Hit your head! Why?
LDZ making rookie mistakes, hitting his head on the corner of the stage.
Crocky's in the red though, so LDZ could even this up very easily. The mine isn't it. Spear Nair isn't it. Ground pound! Not it yet. Ground pound, there it is.
There it is.
And LDZ's even it up in stocks, has weapon advantage. He's trying to get on top of Crocky with these nairs, and there it is.
And
Three nairs will even up the health.
Crocky looking to play it safe.
Neutral light from Crocky. Chase dodge down light. Can't get the Sair off. Doesn't get the jump. Down light, side air from Crocky. I think LDZ's trying to bait it. You see those bunny hops?
Yep.
You saw that spot dodge?
Yep.
He's trying
They're
to
both
bait it.
trying to bait each other.
There's a Nair.
They're both playing so safe right now.
Down light, side air from Crocky. Neutral air from LDZ is gonna send Crocky up. Side light, can't get the down sig, and Crocky gets a ground pound onto LDZ. Oh, the weapon toss. LDZ's in a lot of trouble. He gets to the wall.
He's able to make it.
And the side air.
Going deep.
The
That's
side
what you
air.
needed to worry about, Crocky.
We got to reset.
Damage. We were taking damage over and over and over. It wasn't big kill moves, but all it took was that Sair.
And that is the reset. Crocky goes back to Orion. We got to reset 0-0. Juggernaut bonus not going to go for Crocky. And we're starting back from square one. Another best of 5 set. LDC has made the adjustment. It is going to be on Crocky this time to readjust and change up his timings. We're going back to Mammoth.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
See if he can read those spot dodges better when he down sigs.
Crocky. Oh, LDZ just dodges in and gets him with a neutral light. Down light, side air from Crocky. Crocky tries to get another one, but not able to do so. Neutral light from Crocky is going to send LDZ off of the wall. Ooh, both of them spot dodging. Downlight side air from Crocky again. Ooh, LDZ tried to dodge in, but get immediately caught by the downlight. Side charge down sig is not working out for Crocky. I'd like to see him mix that up. Downlight side air again from Crocky. Neutral air from LDZ catches, and he's gonna dodge away. Tries to find the guitars, but he can't get so. Instead, just keeps picking up spears.
Facing that side sig perfectly, dodging in. Downlight misses the stare.
Down sig,
Ooh.
and that killed.
I think he expected something that wasn't that because he spot dodged too early. Maybe a side light. Oh, okay. He's just gonna turn around and uppercut you into the sky.
Stocks evened up, and Crocky is able to keep weapon control. LDZ picks up a spear, and that's not what he's looking for. Weapon toss from LDZ, wants to keep that edge guard, but instead Crocky gets back and gets a dare onto him. Neutral light tries to chase into the side light, but not able to do so. Two side lights from LDZ.
Double side lights. We haven't seen that in a long time. There it is again. The side light into the down sig.
That's the mix-up. LDZ did two side lights. Crocky expected it again, and instead LDZ just went for a down sig and punished the spot dodge. The slide charge neutral sig off the soft platform is gonna take out Crocky's second stock, but can Crocky answer back immediately with a recovery again? No. Oh, there's the gravity cancel neutral sig, but Crocky doesn't.
Crocky blew it.
Player 2 wins.
Crocky trying to go. Crocky trying to go too hard when he can't afford it.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake from Crocky. I mean, there's not a lot to say. LDZ had the right mix-ups, and Crocky was just getting the wrong reads. He spot dodged where LDZ was down sigging, didn't spot dodge when LDZ is sidelighting, things like that. Right now, LDZ just seems to be in Crocky's head.
Absolutely. Crocky has lost with Ada, and now he's lost with Orion. And I think at this point, he doesn't know what to do.
LDZ's asking if he won that game. Why wouldn't he have won that game?
I don't know. I don't know how that wasn't obvious, but
all right.
know.
Well, Crocky says he'll pick Twilight, and we're going to be going to game 2 in the grand finals, winners finals after the reset, after LDZ got the reset onto Crocky.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
And here we go. LDZ picks up the spear. Crocky picks up the spear. And Crocky goes hard onto LDZ, but LDZ ledge cancels the down heavy instead of the ground pound. Downlight side air from Crocky. Tries to get a gravity cancel down sig, but LDZ, he sees it and just waits for it.
We still haven't seen Crocky vary up that timing. He just immediately goes for that down sig.
Side air from LDZ. Again, the down sig and LDZ spot dodging it. Crocky needs to make an adjustment right now, and he's staying even.
There we
in
go.
health.
Oh, that's Sarah right between the island and the main platform. LDZ going around the island. He's guarding all the safe passages for Crocky.
Crocky gets through, but gets caught by a Sair from LDZ. Recovery from LDZ sends Crocky into the wall, and the side sig sends him off the island, and that'll finish it off. First stock going the way of LDZ. Charged up side heavy from Crocky, but LDZ's not going to fall for it. Ground pound not going to work out for Crocky either. Side air from LDZ, but not able to get the falling there.
Ooh, LDZ.
LDZ just unafraid. Sidelight doesn't connect,
Okay.
and the neutral sig from Crocky's going to finish him off. again tossed into a neutral light from Crocky. Tries to chase dodge instead, mixes it up and goes for a dare. Crocky, gravity cancel neutral heavy was his punish. I guess that's an interesting option. There it is again.
Not charging that.
Ooh, the recovery from LDZ is going to send Crocky into the sky, but LDZ is sticking with these Katars. Neutral sig again. Side air. Crocky is dodging around, trying to get his footing right now, and LDZ is just trying to keep that pressure on top of him. There's a recovery to punish LDZ's neutral sig, but down sig.
LDZ has been looking for those neutral sig reads when on the side, a side air is going to do just
there's
as
a good
well.
down
It'll
sig
come
from
out
Crocky.
faster and it's safer.
Ground pound from
Nice
Crocky
spot
and
dodge.
LDZ with a good punish, and there's the recovery to finish it off. But LDZ has been knocked into the red by Crocky. Call in a weapon, picks up a spear. Ground pound. Recovery from Crocky. He wants to finish the stock off of LDZ, but LDZ gets a side light into a neutral light, and the side air from Crocky will finish it off. Stocks evened up. LDZ with those Katars is getting strings on top of Crocky. Downlight side air from Crocky, but LDZ spot dodges the nair and gets a side sig.
Crocky not in great territory. He is very much in the orange right now. LDZ is keeping this train rolling.
Side air.
And the Sair is gonna bounce him off the ground.
LDZ has dialed it in.
Taking another game.
He has downloaded Crocky. He knows exactly what he needs to do, when he needs to do it. I'll fault him for those neutral sigs, because those were wonk, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, even though those neutral sigs didn't hit, at worst, it's in Crocky's head that LDZ is going to start throwing out these neutral sigs, so Crocky's got to be wary of them. LDZ should be aware of Crocky's down sigs, to the point where Crocky could have mixed it up. He could have changed up the timing, or he could have tried to punish those aerial spot dodges by instead of down sigging in that timing, throwing out like a neutral sig or a jump nair or something. But instead, LDZ and Crocky is going to be switching up to Ada.
I don't know what has changed in LDZ's or maybe Crocky's brain since that first set they played in winner's bracket.
I don't know. Maybe it was the match against Steve where LDZ just kind of like woke up and was like, you know what? All right, I had my fun. It's time to get serious. I don't know what happened between winners finals and these grand final sets, but LDZ just knows exactly what to do. Maybe somebody Steam messaged him the secret.
And
Side zig.
LDZ is still dialed and zeroed in on Crocky's position right now. Has not been touched. Crocky's in the red. That dare and side light have been the first things that have hit.
Gravity cancel side light from LDZ catches Crocky mid downlight. Neutral air from LDZ. Oh, but he's not able to get the sig off before Crocky can catch him with a neutral light. Interrupt. And Crocky's got guns this time, but not able to get the recovery on LDZ. Neutral air. Oh,
That's enough to kill Crocky. First stock going to LDZ.
LDZ with these Qatar tosses. And he pops back up, catches the nair, but Crocky gets the ground pound, and it sends him off of the map down the edge.
That was a one heck of a read.
Does he pick up neutral light that Crocky loves? Downlight, side air.
Another downlight combo.
Side air again from Crocky. Slide charge down sig, not going to connect, released a little bit late.
LDZ is now the one taking the punishment in the orange.
Neutral sig thrown out by LDZ. Recovery from Crocky. Down sig connects.
Okay, Crocky.
And this Ada swap is working out. This is his main. This is his bay. And he's got to know it better than Orion. Ground pound from LDZ. Neutral light from Crocky.
Crocky managing to stay alive.
Bomb in LDZ's hands. Crocky's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose this stock too early. Oh! Tried to catch LDZ with it.
That was cute.
Down light. Side air again from Crocky. Tries to get a dodge down neutral air, but LDZ's been spot dodging the few times I've seen him do it. And there's the recovery to finish it off.
I love what LDZ did just there. He noticed that Crocky has been throwing his weapon down to eliminate the option for a recovery, and he went around it and then delayed and waited and then hit the recovery. That was excellent foresight by LDZ.
Absolutely. LDZ's been I mean, we've been saying it. He's got the mentality. He understands what Crocky's doing, and he's been making these good adjustments.
Yes. His adaptation has been very strong today.
Side light, side air from LDZ. Oh no!
Oh no!
But Crocky!
What?
Player 2 wins.
What?
LDZ takes it 3-0
What?
over Crocky. LDZ.
Hold on. I gotta watch the. Holy Lord!
Crocky just had to recover. He literally had to touch the wall and he would have won, but instead he went hard, went for a Sair, and LDZ wins it 3-0 over Crocky. Congratulations to LDZ. We're gonna see what the analysts have to say about that.
I don't have anything to say.
With the bracket reset, LDZ takes the tournament in an incredible seven matches?
Yeah.
7 matches.
3-1, 3-0.
Oh,
My gosh.
wow.
Phenomenal strings. I don't know, LDZ, he's just so comfortable playing on the edge, and it really shows. He's more than willing to follow people, to just bait them down there, and just go for it. And
You know,
most
yeah.
times, I mean, he either recovers back to the wall, maybe alone.
Duke and Sparky were wondering what exactly changed, and I think that has a lot to do with momentum. I think that really explains what happened in these last few matches.
Yes.
LDZ was fresh off of his matches with Stevenator. He played 5 matches. He was very much warmed up. He was on a roll. He was ready to go. Crocky came in. Crocky had sat there for 5 matches waiting. Played him, won the first match. That first match, super crucial, because I think that will really define what was going on. After he won that first match and showed Crocky, hey, I can win matches, because he got 3-0'd the last time he fought Crocky.
Yeah.
Came in, said, I can win matches, and suddenly he's got these strings, he's got these reads, he knows what Crocky's all about, he's seen him play in the tournament throughout, and he says, here we go, time to show you what I'm made of. And he just takes it away. Crocky, the only match he wins is that second one, right after LZD's first win, but honestly, I think like LDZ did a really good job at taking Crocky's playstyle and going, how can I adjust to this? What can I do? And I think he just does a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw it consistently throughout. Amazing reads and adaptations from LDZ. He saw where Crocky liked to dodge during that Qatar string of the neutral light into recovery, and he capitalized off that exceedingly well. One of my favorite clips that I saw during these matches is the Qatar neutral light, then he jump, chase dodge into a reverse recovery, because he knows Crocky's going to try and dodge out to the outside. And just that alone really gets into your head. It's like, okay, he knows exactly where I'm going to go. He knows what I'm going to do. Now, this string that I was escaping consistently because you can dodge out of it given the proper direction, now I can't even get there because he has the mix-up on me. And
Yeah.
I don't know, that carried throughout a lot of these matches into consistent early leads for LDZ. Crocky did do a really good job of trying to even it up stock by stock, but he was always playing from the back foot. And in a grand final set, especially after a bracket reset, you cannot afford that.
Yeah, bracket reset is definitely interesting because a lot of the times after the first set, that second set will be a 3-0. Either way, like there's really no way to say it other than by the end of a bracket reset, one of those two players knows what's going on.
The mental
which I think
fatigue
is really
sets in,
fascinating.
too.
Yeah, fatigue sets in. It's a huge match of endurance, and LDZ, he had the endurance basically. Like I think that's something we've learned throughout this set is that LDZ's endurance in long matches. He played 5 against Stevenator, and I thought maybe after that 4th match when he switched back to Nye, he'd suffer from the fact that he just lost 2 matches and that momentum that he had was gone. But not true at all. His endurance let him fight Stevenator again and win. And absolutely in this bracket reset, he just went on and on and on. And by the end, I think Crocky just got exhausted.
Yeah, so, I mean, congrats to LDZ. Love seeing him play. Crocky, really nice seeing him branch out to other characters and do extremely well with them. So I'm curious to see where that goes running into now the finals next week.
And definitely make sure to stay tuned for next week. We're going to have the finals. I'm going to go ahead and hand it back off to Designated Asian and Sparky. I'm sure they have some stuff to say about next week. And thank you for joining us. I'll see you guys then.
All right, that was an excellent analysis by the young TWK and part of the Creed. That does it for week 4 of the Brawlhalla Championship Series. Congratulations to LDZ, Crocky, Stevenator, Egg Soup, and Magma Bob for following up with our top 5. We will get points out to each and every one of you via the subreddit, twitch.tv/Brawlhalla, very shortly. Probably tomorrow, so you can see how everybody will rank heading into the grand finals next week. Same time, same place. I have heard some rumors that there will be some very important eyes watching next week. So next week is absolutely do or die. Next week is for the $750 prize pool. And stay tuned the next very day for the 2v2 clan crew battle, where another $1,500 are on the line.
Absolutely. Like you said, it all comes down to next week. They've been fighting it out long and hard for 4 straight weeks. And it's all going to come down, and it's all going to culminate into one final double elimination tournament. And then immediately after it, like you said, a 2v2 clan battle. A lot of money is on the line between these 2 days. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really good. And it's all going to be here at twitch.tv/Brawlhalla 2 days in a row, 12 CDT, CST. I don't know which one's the proper one. Doesn't matter because it's going to be good. Any final words, Sparky?
Thank everybody for stopping by this week. Thank you to LDZ and Crocky for shaking it up and give us something new this week.
Yeah, and as always, I'm Designated Asian. My co-caster is Sparky878. We've got the analyst, part of the Creed and TWK Smash. We've got Zenigan behind the scenes doing admin stuff, and we always want to give a huge shout out to the people who helped us along the way. BMG for getting us here on their stream, giving us community colors to give away to everyone, and I'm making this amazing game. Huge shout out to Doughbrain for the graphics, and shout out to White Sheepy for doing all of the admin stuff prior to this and helping to plan out this wonderful tournament. Thank you guys once again. I'm Designated Asian. He's Sparky878. Any final words?
Have fun. Be nice.
See you guys next week.
Don't be mean in ranked games.